We're a weekly gaming podcast where our mission is simple: to bring to light and discuss topics that have an impact on our gaming hobby, and at the same time, highlighting our diverse gamer community, also remaining dedicated to our origins.
Guardian down.
Join me, Todd the Gator, and my co-host Kingsley Mack as we invite a rotating list of guest co-hosts every week to join us at the Guardian Down Roundtable. And now, let's get to it. What's up, Guardians? Welcome to episode 359 of the Guardian Down Roundtable. In our podcast, we talk about topics and news that impact our gaming hobby, all while keeping the focus on our community. We're the podcast that invites a rotating list of guest co-hosts every week to join us at the table. We go live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on my Todd the Gator YouTube and Twitch channels, as well as our Discord live stage. Once a month, we invite a new member as well from our Discord community, and they pull up a chair and we get to hear their story. We are a live video show with an audio version available every Monday morning. We love the live shows, but we love interacting with our live chat even more. So if you guys in the live chat tonight have some input, I'm sure you will, chime in. We might even read it aloud on the show. So we definitely want some input from our live chat tonight. That's why I love doing live shows. So let me start out by saying hello and checking in with my co-host from the great state of Utah. It's Mr. Kingsley Mack. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Hey, doing good. I mean, we always do have input in our live chat, so they're doing good. They're treating us well.
Yeah, we have a lively group, man. I love it. I love being able to read everybody's comments and including everybody.
Even love Zombie in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just like including everybody in the conversation, so it makes it really nice. Well, let's introduce our guest co-host tonight. Our first guest co-host is here for his first official Roundtable show. You can hear his original interview with us back on episode 239 from February of 2024. He's been a member of our community for over 2 years now and is a part of the Dudes Playing Stuff podcast, another one representing tonight, guys. I remember when he used to help Sherpa community members through various dungeons. I think it was every Thursday, every week, long ago, including myself, by the way, and is now making his way back into the Destiny game after a long break. Please welcome from the great state of South Carolina, it's Mr. Trash Panda, a.k.a. Panda. How you doing, Ryan?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for coming on the show tonight. Who is that behind you?
Thanks for having me. That's me.
That's your character.
That's my dude, man.
Oh, that's right.
That's
You're wearing that in the raid
Yeah.
last time. I like that.
That's right. That's probably what everybody's ever seen me in the history of ever right there.
Nice.
So I could not put, I almost put a, we want Destiny 3 right here, but I thought that might be too much pushing it.
Well,
so
we're gonna get into that. That's for sure. Well, thanks again, Ryan. Appreciate you being on tonight, man.
Yeah, man.
Our second guest co-host, he almost needs no introduction, but I'm going to sing his praises anyway tonight. He was our second guest on the show, and you can hear his original interview with us back on episode 4. Yeah, 4. August of 2019, he was on our show. He's one half of the Potato Thumbs podcast, where they just released their 456th episode, unofficially, because I know there's lost episodes that Fluffy always wants to make sure I remember. He's one of the OG community members. He's been in our community for over 6 years now. He's one of our community moderators as well, and I can call him a good friend. Please welcome from the great state of Wisconsin, it's Mr. Admiral Mips. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Thanks, man.
Happy to be back on the show.
Heck yeah, man. When you said yes, I was elated. I said, let's get this man on the show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your takes tonight, man. That's for sure. All right, so here's what we have on the show tonight. First, we're going to start things off with a Kingsley's Corner with a K, where Mike is going to share some recent updates in the Xbox realm. Then it's on to our next topic, where Panda will explain why he feels that, what makes live service games great is not always the end game, literally and figuratively. He'll explain further when his turn comes up. Next, Destiny 2 is still a hot topic this week, as the Destiny community has been spamming D3 emotes in this past week's Sony State of Play live stream. I'm not going to lie. I had a little bit of a tear. I had a little bit of a pride seeing that. The entire show was amazing. I think after that live stream, we're in the acceptance phase of grief surrounding the Destiny franchise, because a Destiny 3 was not teased. But Bungie has more information for us this week, and we'll go over any highlights from that. For the final topic of the night, speaking of the Sony State of Play, I want to share why I'm a bit worried about the future of PlayStation Studios. after seeing that state of play this week, I have words, to say the least. After which point, we'll shift into our catch-up segment with everyone and share any highlights of their week. Also, what's been going on in their lives since we last spoke to them. I also have 2 brand new movie reviews I want to share tonight as well. And then at the end of the show, if time allows, we'll answer questions from our community. So if you do have a question for us, make sure you enter them in our podcast questions channel in our Discord community, and we might read them aloud tonight on the show. And remember, if you want to send us a voicemail or an email, you can go to guardiandowncast.com to find out more about that. Oh, almost forgot. Uncle Scumdeath checks in with another Scumdeath's Corner at the very end of the show. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. Hey, Guardians, even though we're now the new Guardian Down Roundtable, all the ways you can contact us are the same. Just go to guardiandowncast.com where you can email us, write us a review, send us a voicemail that we might air on the show, by the way, and even listen to past episodes where you can also search for a particular guest of the show. You know, I use this every week to find past episodes that our guest roundtablers are from, so you can go back and hear them and hear their story. guardiandowncast.com. All right, we're going to turn to Mr. Kingsley Mack tonight with a Kingsley's Corner with a K. What do you have for us tonight, Mike? What do you want to talk about, man?
Yeah, man. I'm excited to talk about this a little bit because it has really big implications in the bigger picture too, even though this is an Xbox specific news item. And a couple interesting things in here based on specifics and also how it applies to bigger picture. And I wish every company did this, but we've been hearing about a lot of the big changes coming with Xbox and the new person in charge. And they introduced this thing, which I'm very surprised that they did, because this really kind of like, it lets people see their intimates, if that, it's a phrase of saying, but like, it kind of lets them be accountable in a way and like more open to suggestions. It doesn't mean that they're going to do all of these, but what they did was they started this thing called the Xbox Player Voice. And what it is it's a forum voting system where the general public can go in and either write a suggestion, it's like a suggestion board, or upvote suggestions. So, like an upvoting thing. And this is not a common thing that companies do. Sometimes companies will try this and they're like, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. Because what it can do is it can sometimes, if people upvote a very popular thing, and if the company never gets around to it, then people might complain. Of course, they're like, but we told you this is the most popular one that everyone's voting for. So they don't have any excuse to say they didn't know any better. But I'll tell you, one other company that does this right now is Division 2 with their bug reporter tool. And it's very rare to see this in games where people can go and talk about issues, upvote what the most. Can you imagine if we had this in Destiny, people could vote on what the most important bugs are at the time or things that they want fixed. We might look, I'm not saying it would have saved the game, but we still might have been in a better situation today where we had more before the game gets shut off. You know what I mean? And we're still getting a lot, of course, as we all know, coming next week.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about this Xbox Player Voice. So people went in, they started voting for things, and I'm going to kind of go down a list here of some of the ideas. And I'll talk more in detail, some meta-analytics of what I think is going on here. But the number one thing that people have voted for that they want, the general population, is they want more exclusives. I'm going to loop back to that.
Okay.
The number two thing that people want, make online multiplayer free to access.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
People would like that everywhere, on the Sony side too, especially when you get used to that on PC. You kind of laugh and you're like, it sucks that the console people have to, pay for that.
And it used to be free too in the past.
Yeah. Third one, backwards compatibility. Of course, that's one that everyone would want, Sony and Xbox and stuff. The next one, Xbox Game Pass Family Plan. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. There's no really family plans right now on these gaming systems. Yeah, you can have a family group where you share stuff, but you're not a family plan where you're like sharing the price. You know what I mean? Like to have the other stuff. And then down after that, it gets lower and lower. Better achievements, Xbox avatars. This is a funny one. Change playtime from days to hours. I get why people want that.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, sometimes when you get a really crazy amount of hours, you're like, well, what does that even mean? Days makes more sense. But then in another aspect, you're like, well, maybe people feel better just seeing hours versus days, like, because an hour is kind of a typical unit in gaming. Like when I see some of my biggest games, even in Destiny, like the D2 tracker sites and stuff like that, I think they'll do both, but you'll kind of see your total amount of hours. Hours is always one you can look up. So I guess I understand why people want this one changed also. Anyways, guys, I think I was kind of surprised by number one because I've always been a proponent of not having exclusives. Back even when I played on PlayStation, now I'm a PC guy. It's easy to say that, I don't want exclusives, but I think exclusives are totally coming back now. And the day of having things are gone because Sony's already put the line down recently. And then you see on the Xbox side, the general population wants exclusives. What do you think's going on here? Why do people want exclusives so much?
Well, I tell you the number one reason why is because they bought an Xbox Series X and there's no exclusive games for it. I mean, they paid $500 for it.
Do they want
Well, I mean, that's the
reason. If they have all the games anyways, why do they want a game to be only on Xbox just to be like, haha, you don't get it on Sony? Or
I think there's some people who want to go back to the console wars. I think they want to go back to it. I think they want to have that exclusivity where they can. I mean, isn't Fable Xbox exclusive, or is it going to be on PC as well? I can't remember, but I've heard that's got delayed
Fable's always
again.
been both.
It's been both.
It's always been both. Forever and always, it's been both.
I mean,
but look, what we're really talking about is what you're really talking about here, and what exclusive do is they do that thing that Kingsley and I have been talking about loosely over the last little bit is people want a tribe. People need something to group behind. Yeah. They need a symbol. You've got the PlayStation crowd and the Xbox crowd. Okay, I was an Xbox girly for a long time, okay? I love my PlayStation dudes, even though we gave them shit, right? And then the PlayStation guys gave it right back to us. But in the end, we all had fun, but we all got to say, well, Master Chief, Smokes, whoever, I wasn't a PlayStation guy, so y'all have to pick one. But you know what I mean? Like, it was a healthy, friendly razzing that even though there were exclusives, it made everything in the middle that much more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were mentioning that the other day, it makes sense to me. I still don't like it. I want all games to come on all platforms. And I guess that's easy for me to say. I'm a privileged position having a PC and being like, let's not have exclusives at all. And I do have a PlayStation because there has been exclusives for a bit. Now, usually Xbox exclusives, not always, but a lot of times they'll come out on PC too. So I still don't see myself buying an Xbox, but I don't know. I'll be fine. But I was just kind of surprised by this. And I wish people's attitudes, I wish there was another way they could have our teams and everything, but not have exclusives. But it's really interesting how, and if you look at the votes too, so that was number one. It had 22,000 votes. The next one had 19,000 votes. So it was close, but
that was for the free online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question though.
I feel like you're definitely going to have, you're much more likely to run into the people who are tribalist about this. The Xbox support page too. I think if you ask a larger group of gamers across all different things, I mean, I imagine you probably get the same thing from PlayStation folks wanting exclusives coming back to PlayStation if you're a diehard PlayStation person. But for me, I think, I don't know, there were plenty of good games that I missed out on because they were exclusives. I feel like, I would have liked to have played them. I'm not going back now to do it, even though I have the disposable income or a PC or something like that to like play them. And it's stuff that you missed out at the time. And I don't know. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling for others who would care about it more. So I was okay with the world of exclusives dying. And if it's coming back, it just means there's going to be fewer games that I play available to me because I'm not spending whatever I need for a new system. That's just, I have plenty of other stupid stuff I want to buy with my disposable income. He says, looking at the magic cards behind him.
I was about to say cardboard crack. I was about to say that cardboard crack.
Yeah, definitely the issue. But yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense that some people want it, but it's just not how I think. Like, good on you for it, but I also feel like it's a losing business proposition as well.
Yeah, I know. And I think I felt like it's just kind of sad because we were moving away from it it wasn't perfect, but we were moving away from exclusives. And now because of what Sony said recently and because of this, I feel like we're looping back in. I also feel like I get the having the team mentality thing, but like I've learned this even like, and I was never, I feel like an annoying console player, but when I moved to PC, you see a bigger picture for sure. And I kind of feel like wanting exclusives is just looking at a smaller picture, not a bigger picture in the long run. But that's just my opinion.
I got a question here. How is this different from the Bungie forums on their site? I mean, is this built into the gaming system? This voice?
No.
Okay.
It's a forum, but it's not the Bungie forum is just people writing message boards. It's not a voting.
Oh, okay.
It's not a voting board.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know the difference. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah. And that is what I want to talk about more. I hope that more companies will do this and be open to hearing suggestions and having people vote for what the most popular is. I also have a tech vendor that I work with. They're my main RMM software that I use for managing computers as an MSP. Mm-hmm. And they're still a really good company, but they used to have a voting board for features that us MSPs could vote for. They removed that recently. It's kind of sad to see stuff like that. Cause then again, it's kind of like, I feel like when companies remove this, no matter who you are, it's kind of like, cause they don't want people to see what a popular feature is that's not getting released. You know what I mean? Cause it'll sit there forever. Like everyone's voting for this one. How come it's not getting released? But I say good on Xbox for doing this voting forum. And I hope more companies will do this going forward.
Do you think the new leadership is behind this, or you think this was already in place, Kingsley?
No, this is definitely the new leadership. And this thing just started 17 days ago.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. Awesome. Do you want to say something, Ryan? I don't know if I cut you off or not.
No, I was going to ask a question of you guys. Do you think everybody's going exclusive, but one of the things I always remember about the first era of exclusives is being on one side or the other. Like I was aware that PC was like this morally gray area, for developers and for how and where they released games. So like, do you think the people that voted in that said they want more exclusives back and the way that the industry is driving exclusives back, do you think that they would still leave PC as that morally gray area? Like I know, like I'm a PC player now. I made that transition finally. Thank God. I know, but like I'm still going to miss out on Wolverine. I really wanted to play that.
Yeah.
Now I can't play that. Like why can't this be the morally gray area and y'all can plant your flags over there?
It's probably
just leave it in the middle.
It's probably the last bastion for the big gaming publishers like Sony and Microsoft to keep charging for online, because it's really tough to pay $100 a year or whatever for PlayStation Plus when I can just go to PC and play for free whenever I want. And all I got to do is just have an internet connection. Kind of hard to compete with that, being that you have to be part of the club, the PlayStation Plus club, to be able to play online. And if it weren't for that damn Rockstar game coming out soon, I think they might have to revert back to giving us online for free and then having the PlayStation Plus be for, the extra games and demos and stuff you can do. But
well, another reason they gave, and you can't always say the math is mathing because there's other ways they make tons of money, but
that's true.
Another reason why they gave is because, at least in the past, the consoles always sold at a loss. So they're saying, we'll sell the consoles cheaper than they really are, but you got to pay a monthly subscription if you want to.
Remember the days when it was all free, and then that stupid Sony hack for what happened? What did it happen? What was it, like a month, 6 weeks, something like that? It was a long time that they DDoSed the Sony servers, and that's when I went and bought an Xbox, because they weren't messing with Xbox. They didn't have the willpower to do that. Maybe they didn't have the manpower. Maybe, I don't know. But that is what, if I remember correctly, that's when they put it in our heads that we needed to pay for online service to fight these DDoSers and to have better security and stuff. That was what they were selling us at the time. The reason why they were starting to charge.
What they're selling, but they had it earlier than before the hack.
It wasn't much earlier. If it was very much that same amount of time. And I remember my buddy and I looked at each other and went, this is bull.
And what was Microsoft's excuse? They didn't have a hack and they were charging for,
Well, they were more, I think Xbox was stronger with the gamer score system and stuff. Their community was built, I think it was stronger than PlayStation's long ago because of that damn gamer score system they had. And I know they have the trophies and stuff. It just isn't the same. People want that number, man. They want that gamer score. That's what tells you how much of a gamer you are. It's the same thing with the Grimoire score, right? In the early days of Destiny, I wanted that. I wanted to flash that Destiny Grimoire score when, it's the only way you really could stand out playing Destiny back in the early days. But I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but not to get too off topic here. But yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, I think this is what needs to be in place, right? Especially with new leadership coming in. There's a lot of uncertainty as far as, is there going to be more AI introduced into their systems and stuff, being that the leaders are from an AI company, Anyway, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, just a short little topic, one that I thought was very intriguing. Mm-hmm. And I certainly hope more companies will consider having voting boards for stuff. It is a scary situation because then everyone can see it, but I think it's a good situation, and a confident company and confident leadership will at least consider having it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good move.
You have to have somebody to be able to filter the ideas, because the mob rule is never the greatest way to go. You can put whatever you want up there, but it's you need competent, capable people that you trust to be like, hey, this is a good idea. Find the 2 or 3 good ideas from the 100 bad ideas that get put out there and stuff like that. So I have faith in any company really pulling that off. Not as much as I would hope, but it is a good idea to have it. I just don't know if I trust people to pull it off.
Of course not. And even if they don't, and I would never expect them to fix everything that's on the board, but it's still just good information. Like, could we really have imagined that a high up issue in the top 5, maybe it was number 6, is change it from days to hours? I would have never guessed that. So this really gives people information. I'm kind of like, wow, I guess even though it's not something I wanted, a lot of people want this, so I can understand if they add it then.
Yeah, Zombie, I see it. I remember now, Xbox was always pay to play. I remember that's why we went to Sony long ago, because they were not pay to play. And I remember my son was always bugging me to get Microsoft cards so he could play online with his buddies and play World of Warcraft, I think it was. But yeah, you're right. It was. I was not a part of the Xbox culture in the early days. I've been a PlayStation person ever since they first came out with PlayStation games and PlayStation consoles. So it was always free up until PS3, I believe. I think that's when they made the change. Because more and more games were becoming multiplayer and online. There was online connectivity, really, really was big. I think with PlayStation 3, I think it's when it started. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's a good move I don't think there's a lot of faith in Microsoft leadership right now. I mean, when your most beloved leader leaves with Phil Spencer, there's probably a little uncertainty in the Xbox world right now, So
I don't think everyone's thinking that. I don't have any uncertainty. In fact, This is, so far, it sounds like, they needed to do something, and this has a good fighting chance of getting them more popular.
What I'm curious to see is if they go with the everything's an Xbox, or whether they go back to exclusivity in consoles and stuff. Well, I guess time will tell.
Well, it's pretty much been common knowledge. There's going to be, it's so stupid. Like, everyone keeps saying on both the Sony and the Xbox side, this is the last console that's coming out. But yet again, we hear there is going to be a PS6. There is going to be a new Xbox also. So there is going to be at least one more on both sides.
I got you. Okay.
And there's one player in the game that has built their entire reputation on being exclusive. And nobody ever complains that they're exclusive. We all want them to be elsewhere, but nobody really complains, and that's Nintendo.
Yeah, that's right. They're in a world of their own.
They're never even in the discussion, because they're just like, we are our own thing over here. Leave us out of the discussion. If y'all want to send us a game or two every once in a while, fine. We've got enough of our own stuff. We don't even need y'all.
Does Nintendo even come out with new games, or they just keep regurgitating the same old classics? Do they have new games?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
So you'd say, why is
Don't shoot,
why
don't
is
shoot.
Destiny making the same stuff year after year?
I'm going to do what I do in Arc Raiders. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Says the guy, I've been playing the same. You've been playing the same game through 3 generations of consoles, Todd. Come on now.
You're right. You're right.
And say like, would want the games on other systems, but typically what I've done is I have every once in a while gotten the latest Switch or the latest this or that, so I can occasionally. I won't do it as often as like I buy PC games, but I do have a Switch 2 right now because before that I had an older one, and I do like my Zeldas and Marios and games like that from time to time. So yeah, you're right. I don't really complain about it.
I'm saying like we just accept it for what it is. Like we know, look, the console's not great. It's not. Nobody really. Come on now.
Maybe that's why.
But that's a lot of it. But like the gameplay is always stellar. The storylines are usually fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, and we just don't complain. We're like, if we want to play Zelda, we know we have to buy a Nintendo product. And like, I used to have a $250 Zelda player too. You know,
that's great. I just never got that. Anyway, thanks, Kingsley. Good topic, man. Appreciate you bringing it to the table tonight. All right, we're back with Ryan, and he's next. Be right back.
Hello, everyone. Elmer Fudd Games here. They say it's hip to be square, but really, it's hip to be Guardian down round. Round is the shape, not like square. It's a podcast. I hope you enjoy it. It's changed my life. It'll change yours too.
All right, Ryan, you're up, man. What do you want to talk to us tonight about?
Well, Destiny is air quotes dying, right? And so I'm gonna use that to piggyback off of a realization, let's call it, that I've come to over the since my return to the game. As everybody knows, well, as some people may know, I took an extended break after the final shape. I felt like the story was complete. I did the one clear of Salvation's Edge. God help me, that was miserable.
It was tough.
And for whatever reason, I've gone back in. I'm having a good time, but it's been in the coming back stages that I've come to the realization, and this was even prior to Bungie saying that they're done, is that the live service part of the game really didn't mean anything to me anymore. Not at all. I could care less that the game is live service and constantly updated. I could care less that I'm getting this drop or that drop. I really do. Like, I've been back playing for several months now, and I'm still not at light cap. I'm getting there, but like I'm not rushing it in any way, shape, or form, right? I don't care. What I care about is having a good time with friends, and that is not tied to in-game in any shape or form. So what happens is you find something that is a vehicle for you and your friends to enjoy each other's company in, right? That's what your Saturday night raid team is.
Yep.
That's all that is. You guys aren't playing Destiny anymore. You're just raiding, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing Destiny, but you're not grinding anymore. You're not touching any of the live service because it doesn't matter to you anymore, right?
Yeah.
And I did watch the raid last Saturday night, and raiding is a polite way of putting it sometimes, Todd.
It's been a while. How many months, Kingsley? 113 months since I played that raid? That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
That's why we appreciate you, Rob.
All right, man.
But my point to all of this is that even though Destiny as a live service game is shutting down, it's still, in my opinion, along with a few other game types. I'm not going to tie this just to Destiny, but there are a few other games that do this in-game really well that doesn't have to be tied to a live service, so you don't have to feel like you're losing as much, I hope, after hearing this conversation, right? There are things out there that you can do. I couldn't tell you how many hundreds of hours, almost probably over 1,000 hours I put in Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too.
Y'all, it's the same thing over and over and over. And there's no progression, and it's literally the same thing over and over.
But why did you keep playing it over and over? Was it because you're competing in leaderboards with someone else?
Nope.
Really? That was why I played it.
For the same, I play it for the same exact reason I played Destiny, because the gun that feels good
you're right.
to play. It just feels good to play. And I think somewhere along the way, we've forgotten that.
That's true.
That games should just feel good to play, and we're not always having to chase a carrot. And that is what I've realized coming back with my friends is like, I'm not chasing carrots. I convinced Bell to install Destiny, y'all.
Oh, wow.
Bell reinstalled Destiny and played. He said it last week. He reinstalled Destiny and played with me. He does not care about that game, but it's a vehicle that brought us together.
Yeah, that was his topic. That was his topic last week.
Anyway.
Yeah, he was talking about how playing together elevates games. That was his topic last week.
It does. And I guess my topic ties into that then is that there are certain things that bring people together and unite that don't have to be tied to a live service. Something beautiful has been created in the Destiny universe, and we can all still enjoy it for a very, very long time. And I intend to. I guess that's my elegant way of saying goodbye to the live service portion of Destiny, but my little psycho ass ain't going nowhere.
Well, in the fantastic words of Mr. Admiral Nips, I was listening to last week's Potato Thumbs podcast, and they said exactly that. They said Destiny's not dead. Live service Destiny is dead. And that's really what it is, right? I thought it was a good conversation.
Yeah, I know that. As long as they leave the servers on, you got a place to go and play.
That's exactly,
do whatever you want.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
And it's always going to be home base. Like, I feel like it's always going to be some sort of home base, you know?
Yeah.
Even if certain people don't come back, you know, even now I'm having conversations with people like at the very end, like, let's put together a hardcore raid team and let's just go do some fun stuff. Let's just go real hard at it and see how we can do, you know?
Yeah.
Because again, it's turned into zombies. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how we can, let's make that number go burr, right? That's what gamers are like. We want numbers to go burr. I don't care if it's Rob kicking my ass in Magic. I don't care if it's us putting Oryx down. I don't care if it's, you know, seeing the damage cap in Warframe. Like, that's what we want. We want that rush. And when, like Bill said, we get to do it with friends is great.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be tied to live service, right? We're all still friends. We're all still here, and we can all still play together.
Just want to complete the thing, right? Just want to complete the thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Make big numbers and see the green check box at the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, for me, it's easy to agree. I've felt this way for a while now, for years. And a little bit of it has to do with my personality anyways, because anyone who knows I've mentioned on the show, I prefer content more than collecting weapons and stuff. And I like raiding and I like stuff like that. So for me, yeah, it's especially earlier on in the game, but even recently, if I get some cool weapon or build or something like that, I'm like, that's nice. It's not like I'm going to turn it down, but that is not my drive for playing the game. I've actually been bored of Destiny for the most part for a while now, but still when new content comes out, because I crave that. Now, the only thing I would say is live service or not, I would still love for them to come out with actual new content from time to time, which they probably aren't going to be doing, as we know. I mean, and to me, to be clear, content actually means like activities, missions, things like that. It doesn't mean weapons. Sometimes people think weapons are content, and it could be in your eyes, your definition. But to me, content is actually content, like doing stuff, like a new raid, a new something, you know. But, you know, even if we don't get that, I've already been in a happy place for a long time where I basically just log into Destiny for if something new comes out, which we will have a little bit of that coming up on Tuesday of content. I know we're going to have a lot of other stuff, but it's all the meta and all the weapons and stuff. And again, I'm okay about the content. And then playing with friends, raiding and stuff. And you're right, it can be anywhere as long as the game is running. Now, I do still think let's try to keep groups going, because I do still have some predictions that 3 to 6 months from now, it will be harder to get groups together in Destiny for raiding. Because slowly you'll have, it won't be so much that people are pissed off with the game and they're leaving because of that, but it's just more like one of your friends will drop off because they're getting busy. And then a month or two later, then another friend will start dropping off. And it can be hard to get people together, because we always joke too. We like to get people together for Destiny 1 to play Wrath of the Machine.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily that hard to do, because if we only do it like once every couple years, usually people are green, but it's still going to be one of these things where it might get to a point where it's harder to get groups together. So I still think, unfortunately, we'll see some drop off coming up. But But
I
yeah,
think you lose
people
some of that
play.
too is, oh God, I
Yeah.
was sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just said, I thought you're going to lose some of the people too that would come back for new content releases, right? That's the thing that would draw people back in a lot of times. And now that there's not that, when people leave for another game, there might not be that pullback other than just nostalgia. Although, honestly, it's one of those things that if it's there, you know, and you're sitting there looking at your collection of games and you're like, I got nothing to play. I can just go do some stuff in Destiny, and it's always there. It's like it's a very easy game for that.
I think I could see a situation a year from now or whatever, and we have some friends groups in the Discord or where we're like, what do we want to do this week? Well, even if there's not a game that's scratching our itch, Destiny would be the default, like you said, Panda. Like, let's do a raid, right? At least for a lot of us.
Hell yeah, let's raid, man. Like,
yeah.
Like I think you're right. I think the frequency of regular raiding will go down. Like right now we raid 2, maybe 3 times a week. Every once in a while we can pull that many people together right now consistently with a couple people waiting here and there. I think you're right. It'll dwindle down, but I also think that it'll be a situation where like on a random, Tuesday, I'll reach out to you guys and be like, hey, Todd, Kingsley, Rob, let's raid on Saturday night. Y'all ain't doing anything. Come on. Todd's gonna be over there trying to be an arc raider. We know that, But Kingsley's gonna be Kingsley's either gonna be Warframe or in Night City. You know what I mean? Like everybody's gonna be doing various things, but I think if you put up the bat signal every once in a while, everybody will come.
Bat signal, I love it.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, come on, y'all, let's go do the thing. Okay, I'm coming. I've told Kingsley 100 times now, if y'all need a spare, call me. I'm here. If I can't, it's because I'm out of town.
And I think this builds on a really good point too, where it's a good mentality to have, because a lot of times when people have gotten burnt out with the game, it's not because they played too much. It's because they really got mad about something, whether they want to admit it or not. Like it was hard. They didn't want to do the grind anymore, or they didn't get some weapons that they wanted or something, or they were just bored with not enough new content. But if we're going to have the game in a kind of like frozen state now, there's less of that for people to be upset about. So really, you should change your mentality. You can just be like, okay, I'll just play a game however I want to play. I think a lot of this will be raiding and private stuff, like private SRL matches, private Gambit matches, private this, that, like I think we'll have a lot of SRL things going too. I kind of forgot about that and how fun that could be for some groups, but could be good.
I do know that the FOMO part goes away too when there's no more updates, right? People burn themselves out trying to catch up so that they can get to the right thing, so that when the next thing comes out, they're already ready to go and stuff like that. And some people really like that stuff, and if that's a thing that they enjoyed doing, that's why they played, they might be gone. But for a lot of other people, it just sort of got to be making the game feel like a job type deal. And I don't know. For me, I don't want my games to feel like a job. I got a job that feels like a job, and I don't need my games to feel like I gotta put in my hours and clock in and out every day. So I think that's probably what sort of pushed me away from Destiny. I haven't played in a fair amount of time because I was just like, I've done all the stuff I wanted to do. I don't feel like I need to keep logging in, but at the same time, I also haven't played many shooters, and I definitely haven't played them for very long after I left Destiny. So for some reason, that game broke me on that kind of stuff because it's just nothing else feels as good. So it's definitely one of those ones that I'm happy it'll be around to go back to when the time comes that I want to do something that way.
Scarlet Matty said he ran Sunder Doctrine last week and got the Finalities Augur, and I accidentally timed him out for 600 seconds. Sorry, buddy. My finger slipped. I'm seriously, I didn't mean to time you out, buddy.
Is your finger hovering over the timeout button?
I don't know. It somehow just did. I don't know. It's weird. No, congrats, man. I wanted that so badly. I want that Finale Augur too. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's gonna worries me about Destiny down, 6 months from now is other games. And yeah, I know getting together for a Saturday night to run a raid, that's going to be fun. And we can create little challenges against ourselves too. Like, all right, we got to run this, we got to run this in under an hour. That's our goal. Under an hour. We got to run this in.
Bliss?
We did it. We did VOG under an hour.
See?
Hoodless. Yeah, we did it. I don't know how, but
Different options.
A lot of killers around me. I tried to throw it. I couldn't do it. But no, man, Ryan, I totally get you, man. I think when Nips and Fluffy were talking about it last week, Destiny's just like any other game now. You just jump in and play it. Now you don't have to worry about the live service aspect of it where new stuff is being introduced. And I got a little bit of Destiny fatigue right when they mentioned that Destiny 2 is not coming back as far as the live service updates. And it really didn't hit me that hard because Arc Raiders had drawn me away. Everybody drink. Arc Raiders had drawn me away into a whole new world. And like Fluffy said, some people have played Destiny so long they didn't realize there's other games out there. And that was me for the longest time, man. I would never play any other games because I was so worried about missing out. That FOMO, you're right. I mean, no, I got to keep grinding. This event's only for the week. Once this week's gone out, it is gone forever. I won't be able to get that armor set or whatever it is. Now we can blissfully just play it at our leisure. So it's going to be really nice. That's for sure. But no, totally where you're coming from there, Ryan. I really do. So yeah, no, we got to have monitors on. Monitors got to be on, Danger. Sorry, I can't go in blind. But yeah, good topic, Ryan. I mean, I really don't have much else to add here because you guys kind of covered it all. It was a good conversation. So speaking of Bungie and Destiny 2, let's turn over real quick and run over with our Destiny roundup this week. And so I do need to go over the developer article that just came out this week, the last one, by the way, and the This Week in Destiny. So we'll do that right after this.
Hello, Guardians. This is Notorious One, and you're listening to Guardian Down Roundtable.
All right, let's talk about first the developer article that just came out from Bungie this week. And the big picture basically here is this is the third and final Dev Insight blog dropping right before the Monument of Triumph update, which comes on June 9th, Mr. Nips, following the weapons and director updates. This one is entirely focused on the sandbox, brand new abilities, massive subclass reworks, and Armor 3.0. And the first thing I want to talk about is the Titans Sunbreaker. There is a new hype with the Titans right now, and it's called Shield Burst. What it does exactly is it turns your barricade into what Bungie calls a wall of glass with a C4 charge strapped to it. And they had a video in the developer article showing how these all work. So tune to those if you want to see the actual video of it. They have a towering barricade now slowly slides forward across the ground like a moving shield. The rally barricade infuses your and allies' kinetic and solar weapons with scorching rounds. And the kicker here is you can reactivate your class ability to remotely detonate the barricade, dealing massive solar scorch damage. It scales up as it takes or deals damage and combos perfectly with Sol Invictus and Roaring Flame. So for you Titans out there. Okay, Hunters, they weren't left out. Gunslinger has something called Crack Shot. It's an air move ability. You add an aerial movement tool to Gunslinger, landing all 3 shots from this midair trick cures you instantly, giving vital breathing room, basically. It scales aggressively with your class stat, even overflowing past 100. Combos with 6 Coyote or Radiant Dance Machines can stack rapid ignitions. So I'm curious to see how that works out. Warlocks, Soul Siphon. That got me excited when I heard that. Here's what it does. It replaces your melee with a front-facing cone that literally drains the life out of everything in front of you. I've always liked the what I call it, the vampire builds that I used to make a long time ago. It siphons enemy energy to instantly grant you Void Overshield and class ability energy. That's going to be day one. I'm going to have that on mine because I'm a Void Lock. Bungie describes this as the ultimate life-draining vampire mage fantasy. It pairs perfectly with Feed the Void for infinite Devour uptime. There's some global ability stat nerfs. This is the maybe controversial part of the dev article. The stat flattening. Bungie is pulling back on passive ability spam. So no more, I guess, sitting back with Arc Buddies and just regenerating everything. So you got to basically be more involved. The ability and cooldown bonuses from stats are being slashed by 20%. The maximum active ability cooldown bonuses gained from perks and mods in mid-combat are dropping significantly from 190% cap down to 125%. So we'll see how bad that cut works as far as getting a lot of your stuff back. Builds relying purely on sitting back and letting 100 stat cooldowns do the work are taking a hit overall. So you'll need to actively engage with combat loops to get your abilities back quickly. Okay, fine. Now they're going to have mass subclass buffs and reworks. Warlocks, Voidwalker is eating good. Child of the Old Gods now applies a brief suspension effect on initial attachment, and his tracking speed and acceleration is doubled. Also, allied rockets will now phase right through your Nova Bomb Cataclysm instead of blowing up in your face. I love it. Dawnblade, the heat.
That I will say one small thing.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm glad they changed this.
Yes.
But also, you have to remember, people that have been throwing Nova Bombs this whole time, we yell at you because it's not a good option. A, it doesn't do the most DPS, and hopefully they'll bump it up. But B, it blocks people shooting the boss when that freaking Slova Bomb is going towards the boss. And the Warlock's like,
using it. I quit using the Slova
I'm just throwing
Bomb.
my super. You're blocking us. You're blocking us. We can't do DPS while you're throwing it.
So that's hopefully been fixed at least a little bit.
Yeah, that's the point.
Hopefully they buffed the damage on it. We'll see. Dawnblade's heat rises now causes enemies to actively miss you. They have reduced combatant accuracy while flying. Okay, that's a good respite. Titan Striker's thruster can finally be activated while airborne. Knockout is losing its melee lunge range and decreased against players in PvP to fix rubber banding melee battles. But PvE damage for Seismic Strike and Shield Bash is being buffed by 100%. Hunters, Blade Barrage knives now move faster, track better, have a larger explosion radius, and apply Scorch. That's always my favorite. After I played Gambit with my Hunter, that's what I always use as Blade Barrage. Blade Barrage! Remember, Nips? Golden Gun Deadshot is getting a PvP nerf, reducing super energy gained from player kills by 40%. Okay. Armor 3.0 and exotic overhauls. Raid armor set bonuses. They are tuning the outliers from the new raid sets. The Smoke Jumper set, which has damage resistance, is getting dialed back slightly from 50% to 40% damage resistance because orbs are just too easy to farm. They are very easy. Meanwhile, the Wayward Psyche raid set, which heals while moving, is getting its out of Crucible healing flat out doubled from 15 to 30 health per second. Okay. Exotic Spotlight, the Raiden Flux and Blade Barrage. Raiden Flux is getting a massive identity rework. Arc Staff hits will now automatically jolt targets, turning it into a premier anti-overload champion option. Solar Knife exotics are getting tuned to allow better chaining of proximity knives with ignitions, fully refunding knife energy on ignition final blows. So that is basically, in a nutshell, the highlights of this dev article. A lot of changes with the sandbox a little bit, and just huge changes with a lot of the abilities. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do here. Any other comments on this? Anything you wanted to add, Kingsley, to this article this week? Am I missing anything?
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, while we're at it, let's just head right into This Week in Destiny. So This Week in Destiny for June 4th, 2026. This is basically where they're talking about the Monument of Triumph. It's the final chapter. Bungie just dropped. This is the final This Week in Destiny detailing the Monument of Triumph, arriving June 9th, emphasizing that this is the final live service update for Destiny 2. The tone should be celebratory. Bungie is holding nothing back, and we talked about that in past shows. What is Monument of Triumph? It's not just a patch. It's a massive content injection of previously limited time and unobtainable items. The classics, they're going to have the return of the Chatterwhite and Super Black shaders. A lot of people are going to be happy to hear that. 12 armor ornament sets per class. 12 sets per class. That's a lot. The new Einherjar Coronet. It's the flaming helmet ornament, and you can actually earn a holo chip as well. The new exotic reward pass exotic hand cannon called Turncoat. It has a dedicated ornament as well. Once you get to a certain point, I'm sure probably 100. The return of the Gryphon. Remember the one that shoots enemies? And the All-Star Vector Skimmers. Unfortunately, I both have those. So the rewards are grouped into tenets: bravery, sacrifice, and death that require specific activities. So Chatterwhite is linked into a weekly Hawthorne's Deep Sight quest. The Einherjar Coronet, the flaming helmet, requires completing teamwork raid challenges. You have the vendors will now offer endlessly purchasable engrams that pull from previous seasons, Lawless, Reclamation, past playlist weapons from Crucible Ops, and seasonal events, Dawning and Solstice. This is the Vault Purge moment, basically. Basically, they're it said they're given a brief nod to the fact that all expansions from Forsaken to the Final Shape are now part of the history books. Was there stuff from Forsaken going in this? I can't remember if I remember seeing that. Like I said, this is the final update that they're making. And I mean, I'm just looking at all the rewards they have here, and it's just a lot of stuff. I mean, Kingsley, anything else you wanted to add? Did you see anything else you wanted to mention?
As per our previous conversation, I don't care about the rewards as much.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not like I'm not going to look it over. And if there's some there's like a raid category and it looks somewhat easy and fun to do, and sure, why not? But I'm not going to be worrying about, and even though we don't have the FOMO part, I'm guessing 80% of the triumphs, I'm just going to be not for me. But okay. I'm glad they're adding it for the people that like that.
Like I said, after last week's nearly 4-hour podcast, promised myself I would never do one of those again. I figured out we were just going to wrench in the highlights this week. So I think I've done a okay job at that. So if you want to know more, if you want to see the videos of all the changes, these new abilities that they're giving all three of the characters, Bungie.net, it's in the dev article this week. And they have a YouTube video for every one of them if you want to go and look and see what they are. But we're going to move on. The final topic of discussion coming right up.
Hey, you're listening to Guardian Down Radio. Stick around. You might enjoy yourself.
Guardian Down Radio?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
I did say that. Again,
it's got a nice ring to it, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That's actually good.
As soon as I went to start talking, it was going. Yeah. Hey, this is Risen Phoenix, and you're listening to Guardian Down Roundtable, not radio. Stick around. You might enjoy yourself.
The final topic tonight, I was watching this year's Sony's PlayStation State of Play, and after what I saw, I don't know. For me, I'm a little worried about the future of PlayStation Studios, and that includes Bungie, who is now, remember, they're part of that umbrella of studios owned by Sony now. Before you say it, no, I'm not here to crap all over Marathon, even though they had a pretty big part in the presentation this year, not to mention the DDoS attack. I mean, normal service maintenance on opening day of season 2.
Yeah, it wasn't DDoS. They proved it wasn't. Yeah.
Okay. Which had to hurt the game. I mean, they were showing millions of people. They were showing this season 2 trailer for Marathon to the world. And then they, of course, couldn't even have the servers open, which was just really hurt the game. But, I watch the State of Play every year. I'm really hoping to see something brand new that's just going to give me that little flutter of excitement. But this year, I was just kind of numb. I mean, maybe it was because of the closing of the support for Destiny 2 game, but I really don't think that was it. The phrase that came to mind after watching all these fancy PS5 rendered gameplay walkthroughs was, "That's it? Really?" I mean, I don't know if we're just peaking in the games industry right now, but I really miss that holy shit moment when you see some game footage and you just get real excited to know, when's this game coming, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, did any of you guys see the Sony State of Play? I mean,
Yep, I watched the whole thing.
I mean, I know Marvel's Wolverine was bloody, and the fight scenes were amazing, but haven't we done that before? Haven't we already done those kind of games? I mean, am I wrong? I mean, what do you guys think?
So you're wrong, because I feel like, since you asked the question,
no,
I'll go with it.
No, tell me.
You must have short-term memory issues, because the last Sony State of Play was exactly the same.
That's my point.
That many. Oh, I thought you were just saying this one.
No, let me.
Few.
Well, okay. We just quickly, just running down the games that I picked up that got my attention. Marvel's Wolverine, obviously, they open with that. Dune Awakening, they have some really cool upgrades in that game, but that game's already been released. So I guess it was DLC they were talking about. I was really confused. Onimusha, Way of the Sword.
It wasn't released on PlayStation yet. It was only on. Yeah.
Okay. See, I was confused, but I've been wanting to try that game, and it's a survival game. It's an RPG survival game set on Arrakis. I mean, that sounds exciting. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. How many Onimusha games has Sony put out? I mean, I remember the PS2 days back when I played Onimusha. No Rest for the Wicked. It was a Souls-like action RPG. I mean, it looked okay until Dawn 2. 2027. They didn't tell us when it's coming out exactly. The game looked nearly photorealistic. I mean, but how many zombie games have we played already? Do we need another zombie game? I mean, it was okay.
Yes,
it was fantastic.
Like more Destiny.
It was a beautiful game. But I'm just so burnt out on zombies right now. RuneScape, Dragon Wilds, late 2026. I mean, I was never a RuneScape player, but this was not the RuneScape my kids played. Phantom Blade Zero to be announced. They mentioned several remasters coming to the classics like Dynasty Warriors 3, which look really good. But dude, I played that game decades ago. Guitar Man from PS2, Psyops from PS2, Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams, PS2. There it is. There's the game. Then they showed us ongoing games like Marathon Season 2. The Control has a DLC update coming. Ace Combat has a project update. I mean, really? How many Ace Combat games have been out there? And they're still putting new Ace Combat games out. And that was it. Oh, yes, of course. The God of War crossover right at the end. 20 minutes of gameplay. Holy crap. I mean, I'm probably going to play it because I've played all the God of Wars. But I mean, I know Xbox is having its own issues right now, but it just seems like Sony is just leaning on its old standbys. I mean, the show concluded this year, like I said, with that 20-minute gameplay from another God of War crossover game. I mean, it looks good. I really thought it was neat looking. I don't know what the hell a cube with a sword in it, really, how that incorporates into the game. I don't know who thought of that, but it just seems to me like gaming is just all kind of corporate slop. I mean, the games are so formulaic and so boring. There's nothing really new out. I mean, am I being too harsh here? You guys are going to say yes, but
yeah, because no, you are not, but you're blaming it on Sony. This isn't a Sony thing. This is happening everywhere.
Well, maybe I'm taking my rage out the fact that Sony did not even tease a Destiny, anything for the future of Destiny. Maybe I'm venting a little here, but let's look at this. This was the last games of the last 5 years for State of Play. God of War Laufey, that's the crossover. Last year it was Saros, which I heard is struggling to find an audience right now. They've only sold 300,000 units. That's a PS5 exclusive. Ghost of Yotai. I mean, you played that, Kingsley. That was a fantastic game, right? That was the feature game last year. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth 2023. How many Final Fantasies have we had? And then, of course, 2022, 5 years ago, God of War Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok. Do you guys see a pattern here? Sony's just leaning on the same old games. Every year I see the same brand of games coming out. I mean, there's nothing, I'm not seeing anything new. Saros maybe was something out of the ordinary, but I'm just not seeing anything that's getting me excited to play. I don't know.
I mean, didn't you want more Destiny? That would be the same old game.
We played that game for 15 years.
I got more to say about Destiny, but I'm just on that, just what I've presented there. I mean, is that exciting to you guys? I mean, are you guys excited about Sony's state of play this year?
Yeah, I actually
Are you?
And again, I do think the last few have been less games they're presenting. And yeah, there's a lot of remakes, but that's not just a Sony thing. And it goes along with what I've been saying too. I feel like there's going to be less games overall this year and next, just the total amount. But that being said, I was excited about a lot of things in the state of play. Control Resonant has a date. I'm really looking forward to that game.
Okay.
Let me pull up here. I have a couple other things I was going to mention. Tomb Raider, Legend of Atlantis. Yeah, it's next year, but they for a while showed games that don't always come out within the next 3 months. Sometimes they'll show games that come out within a year, and it's coming out next February 12th, so that's less than a year.
Okay,
technically. And then, really excited too about the God of War thing. Now, of course they didn't need to show a 20-minute trailer, but I don't let that judge how good the game is. I just tuned out after watching it about 3 minutes, and I'm like, come on, guys, you could have had a shorter thing, But I just watch it fairly. I liked a lot of the games that were being presented. Totally excited about Tomb Raider, Control Resonant. I'll be checking out, GTA later when it comes out. Why the hell not? There's still some games that they announced in the last one that we don't know a date for, like Ikuma and Castlevania, Belmont's Curse. So we'll see when those get some dates. So we have to realize there's still some things from the last one that haven't been finalized too. And I just see this as just not that big of a deal at all. Obviously, people just were upset because Destiny 3 was not announced, which, come on, you're smoking copium if you thought a Destiny 3 was going to be announced.
Oh, don't worry. I have my support group part coming soon on that before we move over to catch-up segment tonight. But I wanted to let Nips or Panda talk. Did you guys have any input on any of that, or any of that excite you?
For me, I don't know. It definitely didn't bother me because I'm just of the belief that games can exist for other people. They don't have to be for me.
Yeah,
and there's a pretty fair amount of stuff all over the place there that could have been, could be for me, could be for somebody else and stuff like that. And it's one of those deals where I'm not particularly worried if they release a game that isn't in my wheelhouse, because eventually a game will come out that I do like. And when it does, I'll be super excited about that. And I thought the stuff looked for the most part, pretty good. Like, sure, there could be, other stuff that would be a little bit more exciting, like the remakes and stuff like that don't necessarily do a ton for me. But at the same time, I'm not really that target market anymore either, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure, I have plenty of disposable income, but I don't buy console exclusives. I'm playing on PC mostly. And honestly, there's so many good indie games out on PC these days that I can just spend all my money there and be very happy about life.
You're definitely a more esoteric gamer because you're playing, what is it, Universalis right now? Europa Universalis?
A whole lot of Europa Universalis.
I don't even know what that game is. Is that an RPG? What is that? Is that a real-time strategy game?
No, it's a grand, what is it called? It's like the next thing up from 4X. So I can't remember what the hell the name of the game mode is, but
But what's it
it's
about?
a strategy game.
Oh, strategy. Okay.
Basically, you start in 1337. You pick a country
crap.
anywhere in the world, and you play for 500 years.
Wow.
Try to do stuff. It's not like a take over the world type game. You could play it as a big country and try to be super powerful, or you could play it as a tiny company or a tiny country that's just trying to, your whole goal is to survive the creation of Germany as some other small country, and then, not get pulled into Bohemia or something like that, or into the Holy Roman Empire. So basically that's the whole gist of it, is you can do whatever you want. You're dealing with economy, military, politics, culture, diplomacy, all that kind of stuff. I end up automating just an absolute shit ton of it because it's just so much stuff to do, right? A single month you could spend, 4 or 5 hours if you cared enough to go in and making sure like every trade out of your market does a certain thing. So it is one of those games, but it's also, you choose the speed you play at, and it's one of those ones you can throw up when you're working and then be like, oh, I actually have to go to a meeting, so I'm going to turn this off for a second type deal. So I enjoy that part of it.
But see, that's my point. It's just something totally different, right? Totally different kind of game. I mean, that sounds fun to me, man. I mean, it reminds me of the Empire Earth days where you started as a freaking caveman and you worked your way up to freaking space lasers and stuff. It's crazy shit. But yeah, you played at your own pace and you stopped and paused and came back and whittled at it a little more. And real-time strategy is fun games. They're fun games. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the games, my argument is not that games aren't beautiful. It's just the same games. JD Kent, you said it yourself. Call of Duty, Madden, MLB, same old for years. How is this any different? We're talking God of War again. How many God of Wars have they released over the years? I mean,
how can you use that same game excuse when you want Destiny to be the same?
Because
keep going.
I'm going to tell you in a minute, but I want to let Ryan talk. Anything that stood out to you, Ryan, that you wanted to play? I want to make sure everybody got their 2 cents in before I drop the rock.
No. Here's what I think. I think that Sony is some of those games that we saw are going to be bangers. I think some of them are going to be not, right? It's just the way things go. Developers repeat things because we like comfort food. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why there's 400 Assassin's Creeds, 3,000 Call of Duties. I mean,
it sells. They sell.
We want comfort food. We're going to buy comfort food. I used to be that kid in line at a midnight release, waiting for that Call of Duty so that I could go home, jam up the servers. I was there at midnight for Halo launches. I mean, Gears of War launches. I was that kid, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think that I'm going to hurt your feelings a little bit, Todd. You're getting older.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're set in our ways of what we do and don't like.
Yeah.
And all it might really mean is that particular slate of games does not speak to you anymore.
Now, see, this is where I'm going to say you're totally wrong, because you know why? I've played all the way back to Atari. I played the first Space Invaders games. I've seen it all, man. I haven't played all the games, but I've watched this industry grow. I'm ready for the next level, man. And it's just not, I thought it was going to be.
What is it?
I want that next level game, man. I want that game that just goes, holy crap, we can do this. And you can go over here and the world expands into this. Holy crap. How are they doing this? You know, that is what I'm looking for. Not, shoot.
Didn't they try that with your Starfield and you didn't like it?
You just talked about a lot of games you don't like that other people do like, but there's a lot of games you don't like more than the average person.
Starfield had promise, but when we looked behind the curtains, it wasn't really what they promised. I mean, they promised that. I mean, if you watched that Starfield developers live stream, you would have thought this was the next level of gaming, and then you played it, and it was like, it's a damn BioShock. It's just another damn BioShock game.
But you know what you're really describing though, and I've seen this pops up in my feed. I've never played it, and maybe the other guys can chime in. But kind of what it sounds like you're talking about. You want to play Star Citizen?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna invest $20,000 into a video game. And let's face it, that is literally a black hole. That is literally a black hole game. I will not do that. But my point, I'm waiting for that next tier. I'm waiting for the gaming industry to ascend to the next level. And I'm not saying Ready Player One. I'm not that far ahead, but just something that's like, holy crap. Arc Raiders, everybody drink. Those worlds are gorgeous, man. And it really opened my eyes as to what I can do in this world, which is anything. And the fact that the arc enemies act very human-like and they try to survive, you can see it when they're flailing around. They're so damn dedicated to getting you. There's true fear when you're facing them. But I just don't see that in hold down R2 to do the super punch and kick them. And I don't know.
No, it's not like that at all. You don't understand the game.
Okay. I mean, I played God of War. I played a lot of the older God of War games, and the graphics are second to none. but they still haven't gotten to that next level. That's what I'm still waiting for. I'm waiting just for that next level, man. I'm waiting, and maybe Summer Games Fest will do it. I know they won't, but I'm going to say it anyway. Maybe that last thing they show, where Keeley comes out and goes, oh, by the way, one more thing, and walks off the stage. That's that moment I'm waiting for, man. I'm waiting for that moment where everybody goes, holy shit, what is this game? That's what I'm looking for, man.
Raiders wasn't really that much of a next level. You like that game?
Which game?
Arc Raiders. That was like a night and day next level game.
What makes Arc Raiders fantastic, it's very Destiny-like as far as the depth of the worlds and the enemies and stuff, but they built it with 75 people, and they built it in 3 years. That's what makes Arc Raiders just a freaking modern wonder right now. And when they come out they're really ramping it up now for October. They're supposedly going to be changing everything in October. We'll see. I've heard this shit from Bungie so many years. We'll see. I'm very much more skeptical than I used to be, but I'm playing other games right now, and I have yet to find that third space. I'm just yet to find it, man. I don't know.
I also think there's a disconnect between games that are out there that are amazing and blow your socks off, and things that they show in like showcases and stuff like that get you excited. Yeah. All of the games that I've loved over the past how long, none of those were games released in showcases. Like take Expedition 33, right? That came out of nowhere and was maybe one of my favorite games that I played in forever. And so I don't necessarily know that the state of play stuff and what they're showing there is the best way to decide what you want to play. I think getting out there and finding what works for you and what clicks for you, those state of play ones are to get the largest group of people as excited as they can be, right? Because it's a hype train thing to get you to buy product, which is great. You got to do that as a company. You need people, but got to look at what demographic you fit into and what is speaking to you, right? And and you can't be disappointed if they're not going to your wheelhouse, because your wheelhouse isn't what they think is going to make the most money.
I know, and I realize I'm probably not their target market anymore. I'm the old veteran now. I'm not. I mean, they should be targeting me because we're the ones that got the money to spend on $100 games. But I realize that's the up and coming players. It's the people that are in their 20s right now that are going to, as they're having families, show their kids how to play these games and stuff. And I really hope that's what Destiny becomes. But I know where you're coming from, Ryan. I know you think I'm just set in my ways, and this is the game I want. And until they make this game, I'm not happy. I'm actually wide open, man. I'm wide open to. If you would see how many games I have tried in the last month, I've tried. Bell. I told Bell last week. I played that JRPG game. Oh shit! What the hell was it called? The one that got a lot of. Shoot.
You don't even remember the name. You liked it that much.
It's on my PlayStation. I loaded it and I played for probably an hour and a half, and it's an anime type game. Anyway. But I mean, I've played all kinds of different games. I'm looking for that holy grail. I'm looking for that game that just shows me the way, but I have just not found that third space yet, man. I have not found that game that I want to keep coming back to. People are talking about Warframe. Maybe give that another shot. JD Kent said, I thought VR was the next thing. All it did was give me motion sickness. And VR, I did play a lot of VR, boxing and stuff, and the way you're involved physically into the game is amazing, but the graphics just aren't there yet. And I don't know if people are going to wait around for that to happen. They may stall VR for right now. I thought it was going to be the next big thing, but maybe not. Maybe not. But just a few comments here. I want to make sure I read them. Scarlet Maddie, the God of War universe has me hooked. I can't say anything else. It's just like you haven't fully played Wukong. I have not played Wukong yet. I do have it in my library. Then you wouldn't know why it deserved to be a contender for Game of the Year. Serious question, though, is games like Saros failing because it's a bad game? It's not. Or is it because people like gaming influencers are too busy complaining about other games and don't give these games a real shot because it won't give them the clicks? The new God of War series is an absolute beautiful story about grief, family, finding your place in the world amid tragedy. This new game has always been a part of the main story. It's just now finally getting to its own playable part. Okay. I am not completed. I've not finalized Ragnarok yet. I've not finished that game yet. I think that the game is failing on paper. Plenty of people are trying to speedrun or live stream that game from what I've seen. Oh, he's talking about Soros. So, brands sell, man. God of War, they know they will lock in and sell 10, 15 million copies of God of War because it's God of War. And people have so many great memories of playing that game. So I'm going to finish on my point tonight, and that is a Destiny 3. Mark Noseworthy put a tweet out, and I just want to read this real quick. He goes, here's a simple lesson in game finance. Assume the same team could make the sequel in 2 years, and it sold just as well, unlikely due to the innovation problem. It quickly, by the first sequel, becomes an unattractive investment, assuming flat sales, but inflation cost increases 1x. This was his first part of his tweet. He says, meaning a simple sequel will contribute less margin than imagined and therefore struggle to justify the major investment. So you need to make it way less or make it for way less or find a way to innovate it that it sells because costs keep growing. Each release needs to be either 1, grow their player base, sell more units. 2, charge more for each copy to earn more net revenue. 3, achieve higher average price to net more revenue. 4, monetize post-launch. The DLC and the microtransactions need to be better. Whomever is funding the project, the publisher, investor, etc., has a minimum return they expect, which is totally rational. Keep making the same investment, but make less and less profit each time is not sensible because when they have alternative investments they can make, the financial analysis is obviously oversimplified and optimistic, but adding complexity and precision to the model doesn't change the facts. Revenue top line has to grow faster than the cost bottom line, or else you can quickly get a business that's not worth anyone investing in. And he has a graph here, of course. He draws, I've talked about this stuff before about, float and, your payroll float and all that stuff. And he pretty much draws something very similar to that as far as running a business. But I wanted to share something here. Sony's all-time best-selling games. Marvel Spider-Man, 26.6 million copies. God of War 2018, 23 million copies. Horizon Zero Dawn, 21.7 million copies. God of War Ragnarok sold 15 million plus. The Last of Us Remastered, 15 million. Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, 14.8. Uncharted, A Thief's End, 13.5 million. Helldivers 2, 12 million. Spider-Man Miles Morales, 11 million. And top 10, Gran Turismo at 10.8 million copies sold. He basically is saying, Mark Noseworthy, that Bungie would need to sell at least 5 million copies at the current data for them to break even. Well, here's another figure I want to drop by everybody out there. Destiny 1 from 2014 to 2017 sold 15 to 20 million copies before Destiny 2 even launched. Destiny 2, which was launched in 2017 into today, 40 million registered accounts across all platforms. So the takeaway here is, while you won't find precise numbers tracking this from 2014 to today, 50 plus million units safely puts Destiny in the upper echelon of modern gaming franchises, firmly establishing it alongside some of the biggest intellectual properties in the industry. And Mark Noseworthy is worried about 5 million copies when they sold 10x that over 2014 to 2026. I'm telling you right now, for the record, Destiny 3 or some variation of Destiny will be back. I think right now Sony knows that there's some Destiny fatigue out there. And even though, there's over 300,000 signatures, that have been circulating out there. And the fact that they spammed all of these Destiny 3 emotes at the State of Play. Think about this. Sony only has 2 live service games active right now. Helldivers 2 and Marathon. That's not boding very well for Sony right now as far as live service games. So what I'm saying is, if history was to repeat itself with the examples I produced earlier with God of War, Onimusha, The Last of Us, what else? I mean, Tomb Raider, all of these games that keep coming back with more and more sequels, and they keep selling because people know the name. I'm telling you right now, there will be another Destiny game from Sony. I'm going to just state it for fact.
10 years, 20 years?
We don't know when. We don't know when, but here's the thing. It will be. It will happen. Because even if there are layoffs next week, if they break that studio down from 800 to like 350 or 400, they have to work on something because Marathon's done. There's a small team making DLC for it, but what's the rest of the studio going to do? They got to make something. So, and I
can just dissolve them.
No,
that's what would happen next.
Sony's not going to do that. They're not going to dissolve
shut down Destiny.
They're not going to dissolve Bungie Studios. They paid $3.6 billion for that studio. They're not going to release that. They're not going to just dismantle it to nothing. That would be the biggest blunder of all blunders ever.
And they already wrote $1 million of that off.
Sony's made many blunders.
They have.
Sony out of that 3.6, they wrote $1 billion of it off.
They have written $1 billion of it off. Yes, you're right, and that's going to justify, Ryan, all the layoffs that are going to be coming soon. But here's the thing: Bungie, they're going to build up another team to make another Destiny game, Destiny like. But I'm telling you, Bungie's not going anywhere. But just from everything I've told you there, everybody in Danger and Scarlet Maddie, you just proved my point. You're going to buy the God of War because you've always played God of War. Ever since you were young, you've played all the God of War series. When the next Destiny comes out, think of all the people over this last 12 years that have played this game. They will come back and buy this game. It'll be, and I'm telling you, they'll sell at least 15 million copies, well over what they need to break even, according to Mark Noseworthy, his tweet. So, all right.
Unless they wait too long, and then you'll get a bunch of kids who never played any of the Destiny games being like, why are they putting out another version of this garbage game that died 10 years ago?
That can very well be a problem, but I think they're going to do something down the road. I would say within a year, they're going to do something. They got to put that studio to work.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
No. They're going to green light something in the next year.
Yeah.
Not going to have it built.
But it wasn't proving the point because you're comparing, you got to remember, you're forgetting that Sony does not like live service games right now. I mean, yeah, they're pushing with Marathon for a year, but they'll maybe shut that down too. If they make another Destiny, it's probably not going to be live service. It's probably going to be single player because
that would be great.
All those other games you were comparing were single player games. So it's not the same comparison.
And that's why I mentioned a couple episodes ago, will there even be live service games in 10 years? You think there will be. I think maybe some kind of updates,
probably.
But I don't know if it's going to be the FOMO live service games that we're used to seeing today. But there's only two that Sony's even running right now.
So if people want a Destiny 3 that's live service, that's not happening anytime soon because Sony doesn't want that. But if someone can talk them into making a Destiny 3, greenlight it in a couple of years and have it be a single player, like a one and done, maybe some updates like a 1 or 2 DLCs, but not live service, just kind of like single player game like these other games, then Sony will be way more willing because if you look at the history, Sony's made so many mistakes and blunders on the live service side. I said from way back, I don't think it was a good idea, Sony buying Bungie, and sure enough, we're having all these issues. But they give so much freedom to their single player studios. They're letting Naughty Dog still cook with something that hasn't come out for a long time. Santa Monica Studios that makes God of War, they let them spend 5 to 7 years or whatever making a new game for single player. So for whatever reason, good or bad, Destiny's 3 is not going to be anytime safe unless they can make it maybe single player.
It's just in a world
like a one and done, a non-live service.
In a world where nostalgia, whether it's movies or video games, they're guaranteed sellers. This would be the biggest no-brainer for Sony. I mean, they're just guaranteed sales with this. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming to my support group tonight. Now that I've accepted that there is no Destiny 3, at least not in the near future, but I've spoken my piece. Anybody else want to chime in before we move on? I had to get that out tonight.
I have one question. What's wrong with the, and I'm going to say it like this because all the old Call of Duty players know what I'm talking about. What's wrong with the map pack model? Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be live service, right?
I bought them.
But everybody hated the map pad model too at the time. Everyone bitched about it.
They did, but now I've got a little nostalgia for it.
And add to that, they were map
We put out
pad
3 maps and 2 of them suck. And then all of a
and
sudden,
one of them was
I spent $30
exclusive.
for this.
Remember when they were exclusive to Xbox only? Oh my God.
Like to Kingsley's point, like Kingsley, like whatever next a single player experience, or maybe not, but like what's wrong with the annual release, a half a year patch, a little map pack drop for the PvP guys, and then do that every couple of years.
If you have like a 2 to 3 year plan, they can't make the next Destiny be a 10-year plan. That's a big mistake.
No, I don't think it'll be that again. I think I mean, let's face it, the industry's not the same. I mean, there was 20,000 games on Steam last year. There were only 156 games in 2014 that competed against Bungie. Back then, 156 new games. There's 20,000 this year. It's not the same industry, and capital's more expensive. There's no free money anymore. Investors are moving on to AI, so the investors are more fickle than ever. It's definitely going to. I agree. It's definitely. I would love to see, and I think Rodimus put this in my head. Damn it, Rodimus! I think an RPG survival game would be great for the next Destiny. Don't you guys think?
I don't want survival.
It's basically what Arc Raiders is. It's basically what Arc Raiders is. They're at the double drink.
It'll stay on the shelf.
All right. Okay.
Survival can also mean
survival is just not my type of game.
But yeah.
Well, people are disagreeing with me in the Discord, but yeah.
What about the flip side? What if Sony said to hell with it? But here's Bungie, here's this team, here's that team, here's everything. Throw the kitchen sink at it and bring it back. Give them a chance to build a Forsaken. Like they got close with what we're getting. I feel like this is there's a lot of systems overhauls and some extra things they're doing. If they had finished, it could have been there. But I mean, that's the other thought, right? That's the copium coming out. So just bear with me for 2 seconds. Is that if they really just went all in, there's so much good lore. There's a good universe. The gunplay's tight. Again, that thing we were talking about an hour ago, it feels good to play.
Yeah.
Why not go all in on it when even in its low tide, it's still pulling numbers, I don't know. Okay. Therapy session over.
I just Destiny was that game I could always come back and just work on something. It was a hobby game. I don't see any of these games that I've been trying as a hobby game. I really haven't, because once they're done, they're done. There's no ongoing world. There's no ongoing story. You play the story and it's done. And yeah, I know there's some open world games out there. I hear you guys. I mean, I've heard Witcher 3 and what was the Elite Dangerous. Yeah, I mean, I'll look into those games. I'm forever searching for games. You know what I'm saying? I'm always looking out there now. I mean, I'm not the same gator as last year. I'm playing a lot of games. I'm actually not seeing just the title screens anymore. I'm actually jumping in and playing for an hour or two, realizing, okay, this is what this game's about. Okay, well, it's okay. It gets shifted to the side, and I move on to the next title in my PS5 library. So, the thing is,
and it's okay to have preferences, but something's got to at least tell you if all these games aren't clicking with you that so many other people like.
Yeah,
that's just a you issue, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we're all liking these games that we're playing. That you're not liking.
I'm still hunting mine too. I'm still chasing mine too. Right, I'm trying to settle into Warframe, and it feels like that might be the one.
I might revisit it. I've heard you talking about it, and I might see if I can not get seasick trying to play it again.
It's so fast. Got to go fast, dog. I love it.
Fast. I don't know.
Scratches that itch. It's so fast.
I don't like fast.
I need to go back and see what I got. I have so many Prime frames from back when I played. I don't even know if any of them are good anymore. Me and Val and Fluffy put in so many hours into Warframe. I enjoy that game a lot. It's just, it is a lot to take in.
There's so much.
I played it before they redid the whole new player experience and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like now I need to get all of this stuff figured out, and it's damn near impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I heard the progression, and you know me, man. I love progression. I love working on something little by little. I heard the progression is insane in Warframe. And let's face it, it's a smaller studio. They make the game for their players. And what is their player counts has been like the most boring straight line over the last since 2014, since Destiny's been out. they've been out. I remember it was a free game on my PS4, PS3. Damn, PS3. And I downloaded it. It was free. It came with the console, but I just never got into it. I don't know. JD Kent says, I think instead of Marathon, Bungie should have split PvP into its own game with an extraction node, then release a Destiny Classic with new character classes. Yeah, I mean, if coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, I think if we're going to play that card, JD Kent, I think they should have ended at Final Shape instead of letting Destiny 2 slowly bleed out with these half-assed episodes. And no offense to the development team, you guys didn't have the same number of people working on it that you did making Final Shape. People were shifting over to make Marathon. But if they didn't let it just slowly bleed like it did, I think that's the bad taste that everybody has in their mouth, and why maybe I have a little Destiny fatigue now. But I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to speak my piece tonight. I just really think it's literally a no-brainer for Sony. And my point tonight was not to shit on God of War. It was not to shit on all these games. It was to prove the point that Sony, it was to prove the point that Sony makes the same games over every few years. Every few years, they got the same game, but just a sequel to it or whatever. And if they don't do that with Destiny, it would just be a damn shame. That's all I'm saying. And I just showed you all the numbers.
Except for Destiny.
I just showed you all the numbers. They're in the top 3 of games sold for AAA games. And that would be in Sony's top 10 if they were owned by Sony back in 2014, but they weren't. Anyway, I'm sorry. I know I could take over the show and start bullying everybody to see the things the way I see it, but I'm just like I'm like you, Ryan. I'm looking for that game, man. I'm still searching for that game that's going to grab me like Destiny did back in 2014, and it just hasn't happened yet. So, all right, you know what? Enough seriousness. Let's sit back and catch up and shoot the shit and have some fun now. Right after this.
Hey, this is Beryl Barley, and you're listening to Guardian Down Roundtable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of our show. You know, we've talked our topics. We've had our discussions. Now it's time to just sit back and catch up with everybody. Ryan, I want to start with you, man. It's been a long time. I know you took a big break from the community, and you've just now come back. You're jumping into raids. I see you raiding like 2 or 3 times a week now. Fill us in, man. What's been going on in your life, man? Catch us up.
Yeah, it felt like a natural good time for me to stop and take a break at the end of the Final Shape.
Well,
and I kind of got burned out with gaming as a whole.
Yeah.
And being in a social space in general a little bit. So I took a little step back and did some reevaluating and found some refound, let's call it, some other hobbies that I had some new, and I developed some new ones. So like I've come back into painting. I've posted some of the painting and stuff that I've done. So I started filling up my time with more stuff like that. And leather crafting, I make hats. Obvious, shocker. But
wait a minute, you're making hats now?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn,
not this one, but
okay.
I do leather work, and I make hats out of leather.
By the way,
like
on my birthday, June 17th, by the way, if you want to send me gifts, we are actually going to have lunch in Orlando. You're going to be down for a work job, and it's your last day there. We're going to go grab some lunch. I think we're going to go to Yard House, something like that.
I don't know. I'm finding out live with everybody else.
It's a nice pub. It's a really nice pub. It's really nice beers and stuff. I think it'll be a good place for us to go. Yard House, I think it's called. It's down.
It's your birthday.
It's not mine. Yeah, but it's not far from where you're at. I didn't want you to have to drive all over town because you can drive a long way in Orlando. It's so much sprawl, man. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm interrupt. So
I've rediscovered some old hobbies, and I was taking some time for myself, and then I decided what really happened was I was like, well, maybe I want to stream painting and get back into doing some streaming, but I don't necessarily want to mess around with video games. Weren't how my priority list. They were there, and I'd been getting the itch, so I ended up buying a PC, and 6 half a dozen. Here we are.
Nice.
The guys, they're my friends, so none of that ever really changes. Mullet Dre, he is not super involved in the community anymore either, but talk to that dude multiple times a week. Him and I are actually, that's the thing about all of this, right?
Yeah, man.
Is you make real friends, you get their phone numbers, I don't know, you meet people.
Yeah.
People are what matter. And so I came back to my tribe. Everybody welcomed me back with open arms. Clearly, I mean, hell, you let me come back on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I've rated with you. I've rated with Kingsley here recently. I've been the Sin fill in. Love you, Sin. But I've been having a good time. I'm glad to be back, and I have a little bit different approach now. I play for fun. I play at my own pace. When I don't want to play, I don't play. I don't feel obligated anymore. Whereas in the past, I felt that way for one reason or another. So games are supposed to be fun. Don't ever forget that.
I hear you, man.
I've developed this new odd love of tabletop games, which Rob does nothing but exacerbate for me on
He's a bad
on a daily basis. So he is Rob is now they Danger will and John will tell you I'm costing them money, but I'm going to pass that up to Rob.
Rob, but your life kind of took a turn, man. I'm glad you came on tonight because there's a lot of things people don't know what's going on in your life right now. And I guess about 6-7 months ago, you kind of had a life-changing rude awakening, didn't you, man?
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I work at a company was called Exact Sciences. They have since been bought out by Abbott Laboratories. You might know of Exact as the poop in the box company. They do colon cancer test screening from the comfort of your own home. You just poop in a box and put it in the mail and send it on. But they do other tests as well. And one of the tests that they released last year was what is a multi-cancer early detection test. And they got it approved for people to a certain age. And then they're like, man, we should try to get some data on, does this test work for younger people? So they offered everybody at the company who's over the age of 40. They're like, you can get this test for free. I think it's like $700 normally. So they offered it for free. And I'm like, hell, if it's free, I'll take 3. So I went and got it tested on December 15th. And then I got a call when I was walking through the mall on Christmas Eve, picking up some stuff for Christmas Day. Didn't quite get the call in time, missed it, but I'm like, the voicemail message she left didn't leave a warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart. So on that Friday, the 26th, they called again and they're like, yeah, you tested positive. Here are the next steps, right? And so because this is a test that just checks your blood for a protein that cancer cells give off, but it's not specific to a certain type of cancer, we had to go hunting for a needle in a needle stack, basically. So I called my provider that day and we got started looking into what we would need to do because this is obviously a brand new test. So it's not on any insurance plans or anything like that. But the company offered for anybody, not just employees, anybody who tested positive, they'd offer up to like $6,000 to pay for a PET CT scan because that was the prescribed best next step is get a scan of your body and see if you can find something. So my doctor got that squared away, let the oncology department at University of Wisconsin Hospital know that, hey, here's this thing. I've never seen it before. You guys probably haven't ever seen it before because it's such a new thing, et cetera, et cetera. So I went in, got the test, finished up the scan at like 1 p.m., 1:30. And that day at 4:30, I got a call. So 3 hours after I left saying, oh yeah, we found something. You're going to be. So then I got a colonoscopy like a couple days later, got the pathology report back, and turned out that I have an exceedingly rare tumor. It's 2 different types of cancer in one tumor. One I like to call basic bitch rectal cancer, like the thing that, people are pretty used to. And the oncologists are like, yeah, we don't really worry about that too much. We have plenty of success fighting this one. The other one, though, was a neuroendocrine carcinoma, which I think most people hear of as small cell carcinoma. And normally you get that in your lungs. So it's very rare to be there. And it's even rarer to be mixed with another cancer. And it was exceptionally aggressive. The numbers were through the charts. So I am incredibly thankful that we found it as early as we did. When I talked to the oncologist the first day after we got the pathology back, he's like, in my 15 years, we've caught it. I can't even give you like survival percentages because this is we've caught it 2 other times this early in my 15 years of doing this. So we cured one person. We didn't have that same luck with the other. So that was what I went in with is, holy shit, this thing is, and we started chemo that day, right? It was basically the whole morning I was meeting the care team and everyone behind the scenes was calling insurance and getting them to starting chemo that day. So I went into went into the clinic at 7 a.m. and didn't walk out till 6:30 in the evening.
Oh my God.
So we had 6 rounds of chemo every 3 weeks. The tumor has shrunk a ton. And then just this week we started radiation. The plan is to do that. I do that every weekday for 28 weekdays. So we're on day 3 today. We got 25 more to go. And then it's basically just, we're going to let it cook for a little while because radiation keeps working after
they focus it.
After they stop doing it for a while. So we're going to let it sit for 2 to 4 weeks, do some imaging, do some surgery, and hopefully we'll get a clean bill of health at the end. But everything's looking really encouraging. But I will say it's one of those ones that if we had waited 2 to 3 to 4 weeks later, we might have been having a whole different discussions with how aggressive this cancer was. So I'll be a big proponent of, you don't necessarily need to go out and get an early detection blood test, but if you're noticing something different with your body, talk to your doctor. If your doctor says, hey, it's time for your screening, get your screening. It saves lives. It's really that simple. It's the earlier you catch it, the better chance you have. And so I can't, say enough good things about the doctors I worked with the community that I have around me, both friends, family, video game friends, the podcast community. Like, the support has been amazing. Obviously, I kind of knew it was going to be there because we've been building this thing for so long and have so many good folks around us. And it's unfortunate that, you have to reach out and get that support, but it's also great to know it's there. And yeah, I would say it was an incredibly terrible diagnosis, and everything in the peripheries has been fantastic for it. And so we're still very optimistic that before this year is out, we'll have a clean bill of health.
I got to ask you a question. This may be incredibly insensitive of me, so I apologize in advance if it is.
No, don't worry about it.
When you first heard that you had cancer, did you just poop a little bit? Scared shitless?
No. Nah, the tumor was too big. I was having real problems pooping. Don't worry about it. All things told.
I mean, I always ask myself how it would feel when someone said that to me.
Honestly, for me, it was like, okay, what's the next step? Then that's just how my brain works. It's,
Okay.
I'll worry about the stuff I can control. Yeah. I can't control how to fight it. I got to leave that to the professionals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get basically hung up the phone, get hearing that, and immediately called the line they told me to call. And then I called my doctor. Then I, had to let people know who were close to me because I felt like keeping that from them would be an incredibly jerk thing to do. Not that people would give you a hard time about it, but so I did that, and then I just stopped worrying about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go into my doctor's appointment. And that's just how I've been doing it the whole time.
Do what they tell me to do, right?
Just do what they tell me to do. Control the things I control, right? I can control what I put in my body. I can control, making sure that I get enough sleep and all that kind of stuff. And making sure that if I start to feel nauseous, I take drugs so that it doesn't harm my treatment process and stuff like that. But I think there was probably a couple of days in that week between the 26th and New Year's that ended up staying up a little bit later and just staring into the fireplace. But I got over that pretty quickly because it wasn't doing me any good. And, it's just, I don't know. State of mind is an important thing when you're doing these things because, if you're already beat before it starts, then it's going to be a lot harder for your body to fight it off. And so I fought what I could fight and just trusted the rest would fall into place with some of the smartest doctors in the state. So I left it up to them.
Well, the good news is now that you're a married man, congrats, by the way, sir.
2 days before my first wedding anniversary.
Exactly.
I got the diagnosis.
Exactly. How's Mrs. Nips taking all this? She making sure you don't eat any bad stuff? And
she's doing pretty well.
Okay.
At first, it was rough for her because she was like the sole caregiver for her mom when her mom passed from cancer and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So she went through pretty rough time with that. Yeah. But I think as we went along and I was having success and it wasn't wrecking me on a day-to-day basis, like obviously I was tired a lot and there were some days where I'm like, just not getting out of bed today. But I think that the good reaction has helped a lot with her mental state too, just because
that's good to hear.
It's such things have been going so well that it's hard to stay really down.
Yeah.
It was rough at first, but I think right now we're both in pretty good mental spots.
That's good, man. I love your work in the system, and that's a great mindset to have. So I realize you had treatment today, so I appreciate you making it tonight, man. I know you're going through a lot of changes right now. I can't imagine what you're going through, dude. I really can't. So.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not the best either. You should just gotta, you gotta roll with the punches.
Just ride it out.
One of the things I'm glad about coming back is that one of my newfound hobbies has allowed Rob and I to continue to game together on a semi-regular basis.
Oh yeah.
And it has nothing to do with anything but a tabletop game. So that's a lot of fun.
Speaking of which, what are you guys gaming? Are you playing D&D, or what are you guys playing?
Magic. We play
Magic the Gathering. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So as in my time away, I rediscovered my enjoyment of physical collecting of Magic cards, and come back. I knew Rob was a card gamer because Rob is the one that gave me my Balatro addiction.
Oh, Balatro. Yes. I have a good fond memory of Balatro during the hurricane. Now, what are you guys playing? You can't be playing virtually, right? If you're saying physical. You're just on camera.
We play virtually.
You play virtually? You use a virtual board?
We're gonna test that out this coming Sunday.
Okay.
Playing with the physical cards, because we've got some ideas of something we might try.
That's gonna be cool.
But typically, John McNasty in the DPS community, we always convince John to pick up new hobbies. And so John picked up Magic simply because I came back and me and Rob started talking Magic, and I know Greg collects too. So we started this whole addiction within the DPS community. Thanks, Rob. It's all your fault. Anyway,
I do what I can.
So John went on a hunt, and he found this site called EDH Labs. And what it is it's basically like a proxy site where you play with digital cards. It doesn't do any of the mechanics for you, none of that stuff. All it is a vehicle to play cards, and then you treat it like you're playing physical cards on the digital board.
Do you scan your cards in the system or something where they know who's holding what? No? Okay.
The decks themselves are, basically you just draw off the deck and it'll shuffle for you and all that kind of stuff. But it's it does what it can, but in a lot of ways it's like playing a regular game at the kitchen table, right? You have to know the rules, you have to do all that kind of stuff. So it's the same that way. It's not as streamlined and programmed as like MTG Arena, but it's also a chance to play with 4 people and have fun with friends and all that good stuff. So,
like last Sunday, at middle of the day, randomly, it was me, Rob, Don Wiggles, and Moose. Believe it or not, we all got together, jumped in a voice chat, and played cards for free.
Nice.
And just hung out, and cool. It was fantastic. But at the same time, we're all like physical collectors too, because that's just part of the hobby, right? You don't have. So the original thought was we were going to play with our physical cards and spell table, and then John found that, and then Rob and I tested it, and it's starting to evolve.
Okay.
I
was curious
as a way for everybody to connect.
Yeah, I was just curious how you were doing that with your physical collections. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Well, I can't thank you both for being on tonight, man. I know we haven't talked to both you guys in forever, and I'll see you, of course, Ryan, in a couple of weeks. But Nips, especially you, man. I'm so glad you made it tonight. I know I've been thinking about you all the time in a friendly way. Just making sure your life is good, man, and you just can't waste it. You got to take in every day that you got, because nothing's guaranteed in this life. But man, it's good to hear from you guys. So, Kingsley, let me turn to you, man. What have you been doing this week, man? Just want to check in with you.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to add on to what Admiral Nips was saying. People, we've said on the show before too, go to your doctor, get your tests, everything like that. I've been very lucky that I haven't had anything come up yet, but I'll tell you, I had my own worry when I was getting close to the age of getting my first colonoscopy. And I've heard that there's been more and more people these days with colon type cancers and at younger and younger ages and everything. And so when I was coming up for it, I was freaking scared. I'm like, they're totally going to find something. But look, just do it, get it done. I was lucky where they didn't find anything, but get it done, because then at least you'll have a baseline. At least you'll see what can be done from there. Don't wait, because it could be a life or death situation for all sorts of tests.
I get my blood test every 6 months. My doc is very proactive. We're on a good plan right now. He's always looking for any markers like what would happen with Mr. Nips there. So, and I'm due for a colonoscopy. I had one over 5 years ago. They found a little polyp, but yeah, man, you just got to get checked. And that's why a lot of men especially don't go to the hospital, don't go to the doctor, because they're worried about what might be found. And denial, I mean, ignorance is bliss, really, what you don't know, if you're not worried, if you don't know you have it, you don't have to worry about it, right? But you got to be very proactive, man, these days. Yeah.
I also, kind of dovetailing on the conversation too, this is so funny. I mean, I'll talk about things but it's just interesting points I'm thinking about right now. I have a type of personality where there's certain things I don't worry about and other things I do worry too much. And like what you were saying, Rob, like if I found some really crazy news and it's just like, you got to do this, then I'm kind of like head down. I don't worry about that as much. But then the smaller to medium things that I actually can control more, I worry about more. And really, the worry is just, it can go away. I learned, this is like, a lot of people know this and be like, duh, but like I learned this personally this last week. Someone said something about anxiety and stress can go away if you're moving towards some action. It doesn't mean you have a solved resolution yet, but as long as you're moving, as long as you're taking some action, moving towards something, that can cut anxiety and stress at least in half, and in some cases make it go most of the way away, depending on who you are. I'm like, I know that's true for me. I know, because these small to medium things that I actually can do something about, not necessarily short term, some may take longer, but like I just need to do something to get the movement going, and then I'll be less stressed. So I'm just saying this is like a life lesson that I learned, and hopefully everyone else can take that too. So
yep, absolutely, man. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. But other than that, just, normal gaming stuff. Shout out to, I think it was the first time I might have played once before. Remind me, Taco King, but we did a raid together and with some other great people in the community. And so that was fun. The first time I think I played together, and we were doing Desert Perpetual, and also first time playing with Lex Rocker.
Oh yeah.
And
one of my real life friends, by the way.
Is he really?
From Madison. We worked together at Epic back in the day.
I never knew that. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It was just down the street from me.
Some of us are going to be helping him and some buds through Desert Perpetual raid coming up here soon. But yeah, just all the other raiding stuff we do, and enjoying playing lots of other games right now. I needed a little break myself through live service games, for lack of a better term. Nothing against live service games in general, but like I was, didn't feel like playing any more Diablo or Division or Warframe or anything like that right now. I just needed like a little palate cleanser. So I hopped back into Cyberpunk, and I think I mentioned this a little bit last week too.
A lot. Yeah.
But it's still an amazing, amazing game. This time, I always say I'm going to do this because I love exploring. And when I go around and do the missions kind of quicker, I'm still exploring and taking a lot in. But this time I really am going slower. I'm not using the automobiles and cars as much. I'm actually walking slow to different locations. So I'm forcing myself to kind of take in the sights and sounds and see the little street brawls and, help out the police if someone's getting mugged or, all the little things. So it's like really such a fun game in this dense city atmosphere, and the missions are top notch. The sound is what really makes this game. I mean, we can say this about a lot of games, but oh man, the soundtrack and the techno beat type songs that they have to these missions are just so enthralling and get you hyped up when you're playing them. So it's been enough times past that doing a new playthrough, it's still kind of newish, even though some things are coming back to me. And, like any type of RPG like game like that, you can make slightly different choices. And I'm doing a different build this time that's more of a technician build. I'm not speccing into intelligence at all, like the net hacks and stuff, because that intelligence, it's kind of an all or nothing. What I've been doing some research, and this time I'm going to do nothing on it because I want to go strong into a technician build that really focuses on movement, but also kind of focusing on SMGs and stuff like that. And it looks like it'll be a lot of fun going into this build and just playing through it some more. That'll keep me, I won't get it done by Tuesday. And then of course some Destiny stuff will be coming out. I hope what are those things that come in the world? Not the retaliations,
You talking about that new
in the sky?
Yeah,
the new activity.
dispersions
Yeah.
or damn.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I hope they're kind of cool because
Yeah.
it's basically for me going to be that SRL and raiding and Pantheon stuff that'll keep me interested for a while.
Yeah.
Not much else in the game I'll be too interested in.
Distortions. Thank
but
you. Taco
Distortions. Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter because there's tons of other games, and I have Sony games on my list. Going back to the Sony State of Play, I already had on the list, but so this wasn't announced there, but AC Black Flag Resynced is coming out July 9th. Control Resonant, September 24th. I'll check out GTA 6, November 19th.
That's right.
But also, I still have on my extra credit list Hell Is Us, Death Stranding 2, Path of Exile 2, Pragmata, and Karen. And
Pragmata was good.
Those are games that, and there's even more, but those are games that I can always hop to also if I ever slow down. But if anything, I have more than enough to do with games, and yeah, work is good. Nothing really to mention there, and life is good enough in general. Although that's what I was also going to mention, health stuff. I hurt my foot really bad 2 weeks ago. Yesterday was the 2-week anniversary where I broke 2 toes.
Oh shit. Well, that happened.
Yeah. It's a crazy story, and it's just barely starting to get better. Like 2 days ago, I kind of felt like I got over the 50% mark where I'm like, from like still being concerned every day and in pain to like, okay, I can live through this. It's actually starting to get on the mend. So we have like this ramp, like wood dog bed that goes up to the bed in the room. And just some crazy stuff's happening with like the dogs running around and then something else. And then the ramp was starting to fall one direction, but I was running around the other direction. So it hit double pressure. It fell on my foot while my foot was slamming up into it. I hit it so hard. And my wife even said, she's like, I heard something.
That's not good.
The bones hit it hard. So my pinky toe and the toe next to it on my left foot, it got hit pretty bad. Now, nothing got like dislocated. So there's not much they can do if it's more of a minor fracture that, you can get like a boot thing if you really want, but I just knew to kind of be careful and, keep slippers on around the house that would protect it, and kept a tighter sock on it to kind of keep everything in place. And boy, it's been one of the worst of the health things I've had personally in my life. So
well, at least with your job,
lucky, but
you don't have to be on it if you don't have to, at least for the most part.
Yes, I'm very, very lucky that way. Remote work. I had one thing I had to go out for, but it wasn't far, and I was just there for like a half an hour, and I was just kind of hobbling around. I could put some weight on it, but like very slow and walking like that. So
yeah,
whatever. Not here to complain though, but I'm glad it's getting better. So
good, man. That's good to hear.
I'm happy with that.
Life is good, brother. I'll be quick.
Part.
I'll be quick tonight. We've had a lot of discussion tonight. We did want to shout out our raid team. We played 2 OG Destiny 2 raids this last Saturday. We started with a Crota Zen raid, and then we finished with a HUD-less Vault of Glass raid, and we did a lot better than I thought we would on that. So shout out to my raid team. I always have a great time every Saturday. I don't know what we're going to do this. Oh, I know this Saturday. I don't know what we're going to do this Saturday, but I did want to mention we are going to have a mega cast. I'm not sponsoring this. This is through Sweaty Spooks and the Blueberry Lounge guys. I'll be on the show this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're just going to talk about memories of Destiny. I think Night Demon's going to be there from 2x100 Parody. I think is going to be there. I don't know if you were going to be there or not, Kingsley, but I'm going to stick around for a little bit. I've got to meet some tree guys in the morning, and hopefully they'll be there before the stream starts. If not, I may have to duck out for a few minutes. But the great thing about it is I'm not running it, so I'm just going to enjoy the ride and chill out and hang out with a lot of my old time friends. So 2 movies I want to review this week. Wife and I went to see 2 new ones in the theater. Of course, this is my AMC Stubs A-list membership. I can see 4 movies every week, any format, any screen. And I wish I got some kind of compensation for saying that, but I'm just trying to spread the word. We saw a new horror flick called Backrooms. It's from A24, which right off the bat, I had good vibes when I saw the trailer of this movie. The movie opens up with a divorced furniture store owner who finds a hidden door in the basement of his retail store. And from there, the wheels just freaking come off on this movie. It is more of a psychological horror movie than blood and gore and all that. There was some blood in it, but Rotten Tomatoes loves this, man. They gave it a certified fresh 89%. I just didn't see it that way. This movie to me just dragged along. There were certainly suspenseful moments where you're literally moving your head, trying to follow the camera along these weird hallways, and you're looking for a jump scare or something, and it never comes. And a lot of disturbing rooms, but really, it just didn't make sense to me. The whole movie was like a fever dream to me. And I don't really like films that make you decide what the movie's about. Hey, buddy, you're the director, you're the writer. Tell me a story. Give it some damn meaning. I'm sorry, I just didn't like this. It just didn't land for me. And I had such high hopes for this movie, but my wife did like it. So maybe there's that.
Generally look like it has about an 8 out of 10.
I give this one 2.5 stars. I'm sorry. I'm going against the grain on this one. It was just okay. Maybe it just reflects my frustration.
Excited to see it.
Maybe the confusion at the end. You guys tell me when you watch it. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. The other film we saw this week was the latest action movie called Tuner. It's about a piano tuner and his mentor who tune pianos for rich folks who really never play it. And what you don't know is that until later in the film is that this young apprentice has perfect pitch and has some amazing gifts that get him into trouble. In fact, the story kind of goes along like all movies do. He meets a girl, his mentor has a dramatic episode, blah-de-da, same story like most movies out there. But at the end of the movie, holy shit, the whole end of the movie got me. I'm not going to share anything. I don't want to spoil anything on this film, but if you ever saw the movie Whiplash, starring J.K. Simmons, which I still believe is his very best work, you'll understand the end of this film. By the way, I just did purchase Whiplash on YouTube. Once I started talking about it and thinking about it, I had to get the film, and it isn't available to rent anywhere. You have to buy it or rent it. So, classic movie, one-of-a-kind movie. I would say it's probably one of my top 10 movies of all time in my mind. I give Tuner 4.5 stars. It was a great fucking movie, man. So you guys tell me when you watch it and let me know. All right, let's move on. We might have a few questions here in our Discord. We'll do that right after this. Hey, Guardians, if you would like to ask us a question for the show, head over to guardiandowncast.com to send us a voicemail or email us with your question. However, the best way to send us a question is to write it out in our podcast questions channel in our Discord community. You can access it on the Discord app on your phone or on the web. It's discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. Don't think about it. Just do it. Do it right now. The links are in our show notes. Later, Guardians. All right, this is the part of our show where we get our questions from you guys. And we have one here from Vampire the Gator. He says, do you think this massive final update could be Bungie's last-ditch effort to prove to Sony that people still want Destiny? What do you guys think about that? Do you think they put all of this into the game, hope and a prayer that Sony sees the numbers and greenlight something for the future of Destiny? Or what do you guys think? I mean, it's exciting. There's a lot of stuff coming.
No. For me, I think it's similar to how once they announced the New World was dying, that the developers threw everything they'd been working on into it. Like, there's no more stuff coming here anymore. So here you guys go, enjoy it, and that'll be the end of it. So I get that vibe from this too, is these are all things we had been talking about and thinking about, and, we'll see what it actually ends up being for you.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that on your show. Yeah.
This can't be a way to hope that a mind would be changed. If it was, they should have done this a year ago. You know what I mean? Like, this is just whoever made the decision, whether it was Sony or someone at the very, very top of Bungie, they made the decision. And then along with that, then it was decided, well, since we're not making any more updates, we might as well throw in all the projects we were working on that were close to completion. Mm-hmm. At least try to have it. Even the people at the top, they're not going to be like, at least they're not being malicious, like, haha, we're turning off the servers. They're going to let the game keep running. And so why not, finish up the projects that were almost done or already done, just sitting as like pull in case of emergency things like the SRL. That was totally a pull in case of emergency type thing, and slot it in and there we go. But it's not like anyone in Bungie's really like thinking this is going to change Sony's mind, at least not in the short to medium term.
What do you think, Panda?
I think that, much like everybody said, I think they were various stages of completion on projects. And in my opinion, they took the greatest hits of those projects that were the closest to completion. They're like, let's figure out how to wrap this into a really neat package to send it off, since they're air quotes shutting us down.
Yeah.
And that's what we got. I'm here for it though, because it all looks awesome. I'm going to do it all. I'm sure we'll raid 6 half a dozen times before it's all said and done, and chasing the same stuff. So it is what it is. I'm here for it.
All right, man. We got one more Destiny question here from External Barge. 0513. Should we trust Bungie ever again? Here's the thing.
We already had this question last week.
Here's the thing, Barge. The people
Did we already answer this one?
I don't know if we did or not, but I'm going to answer it again.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Okay. All of the management that sold this game to Bungie are gone. And if there's anyone to blame, I guess it would be them for overselling the studio and then grabbing their paycheck and running away, right? You can't blame the studio. I think the studio loves to make this game. And the question should be, Barge, is can we trust Sony to do what's right with Bungie, right? My biggest fear, and I mentioned this last week, was they're going to tear the studio apart and split all of its parts across all of its studios, and Bungie goes away. That's always been my biggest fear ever since I heard that Sony was buying out the studio. I still want to believe that that's not going to happen, but yeah, I think it was the management that was the problem here, and they make the decisions on where the future of the game goes. And remember, Sony's just a recent owner here. They've been emancipated from their corporate overlords several times, and I don't know if they just didn't handle money correctly or what, but I don't think we can put the blame on the studio itself right now. I think it's all about the upper management, which most of them are gone. So maybe Sony will rebuild the team, rebuild the whole studio from the bottom up. I don't know. I don't know. You guys want any input on that?
Well, I think what I thought I said too, but was like, I don't know exactly what this question's getting at. It could mean a couple different things.
Yeah.
It's a little vague. Like, does it mean, because some people were also saying, like, Bungie said several years ago, like, Destiny 2's not going anywhere. Maybe that's what he meant, or maybe he meant the thing about it shutting down, or sorry, as far as like who made the decision. You know, we don't really know who made the decision. We're assuming it's more from the Sony side because that just makes sense and everything that's leaked out.
Yeah.
From the reporting and stuff. But if it's the other side about someone saying it's not going anywhere, well, yeah, like you even said, and what I just said right now, A, it may be out of their control. Maybe they didn't make the decision. Maybe Sony did. Yeah. B, it's a common thing when people, you can have this in relationships too, where someone says something, but then things can change in your life. And then even though you said something at this date, it doesn't mean you can't change 2 years later. So they may have still had the best intentions 2 years ago, and the plan was for it to not go anywhere. But right now, unfortunately, it has to, because things have changed. No one was buying it anymore. Not no one, but you know what I mean? The numbers kept going down and down and down. So what can you do, you know? So I don't, like you said too, I don't really see any kind of like worry about should we trust them or not. It's just unfortunate circumstances.
He might have still been in the phases of grief as well. But last week when he posted the question, Nips or Panda, any input on that? Are you guys good? Yeah, I hear you. Sky Guy, we talked about this tonight, but he's one of our newest patrons. I wanted to make sure I mentioned his opinion of this. He goes, what's everyone's opinions with the Xbox new player voice platform? It was just launched on 5/18 under the directive of Asha Sharma, and there's already tons of feedback being heard from the Xbox community with it. The biggest complaint so far, I think, is about Xbox losing exclusivity and for a push to bring it back, along with more backwards compatibility and separating online multiplayer from Game Pass. I know not everyone has an Xbox, but what does everyone think? And should other companies adopt this more community-focused feedback system? I mean, we obviously talked about it. It's the first topic we had tonight, but anybody want to add to that? Should we trust? His question is, should other companies be following this feedback system?
I mean, I said that, in my whole topic. Yes.
I just wanted to give him credit.
I was going to say that question got a real treat of an answer for the whole.
Well, reason
the show.
He asked the question last week, and I just wanted to make sure because it would have led to.
Well, Kingsley liked it enough to make it a whole segment.
That's the reason. That's the reason why I didn't read it last week, because I knew Kingsley was going to talk about it this week. So
new,
exactly. So
that's hilarious. That's awesome.
That's great. That's perfect.
Let's see. That is all the questions we have tonight, guys. So before we go tonight, I just did want to announce again, the mega cast will be happening at the Sweaty Spooks Twitch channel this Saturday. If you're listening live, if you're listening in the audio version, you've already missed it, but I'm sure there'll be a playback somewhere. I'm probably going to record it and then post it to our Patreon, because I haven't put anything out there in a while. But if you can go and watch the entire stream from Sweaty Spooks Twitch channel, by the way. And that's SPOOKZ, or Z, as he would like to say. I did want to mention that before we go tonight, we have a speak pipe, which, by the way, guys, if you want to leave us a voicemail, a voice message, guardiandowncast.com. It's so easy to do. You just go there and say, hey, send us a voicemail. It's there on your right side. You can't miss it. It floats everywhere when you move across the site. So we got one from someone you might know. Here we go. There's 3 parts. You'll see why in a minute.
Guess what? I'm back. Hello, and welcome to Scumdaft's Corner. This is quite a weird one. I've not done one in quite a long time. But now hearing that the end of Destiny 2 is upon us, it feels like a massive... I've not played Destiny in quite a while, a very long time actually, but to have it there, knowing it's there, is a comfort thing. But knowing it's going to stop, I don't really like that. Yeah, I know this marathon thing. Well, I don't have a PS5, so I don't give a fuck about that. But yeah, so the end of Destiny, how do I feel about it? I think I'm going to have to jump in. I'm going to have to see who's in there and see what's going on. I jumped in a while back and I didn't have a clue what the hell was going on. But yeah, I might try and jump in and see. I don't know. I don't know what to expect if I jump back in now. It's been months, maybe a year. No, I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be a massive thing gone from my life, seeing as though, like, this is how we all met many years ago. So.
And he didn't realize it's only 90 seconds. So here we go.
Hello, welcome to Scumdaft's Corner Part 2. Not that Destiny's going to stop, but they're going to stop doing content. So at least if I start playing it now, I might actually get to the level cap at some point that you need to be. But then it's pointless, I suppose. I don't know. I am definitely going to dive in and see what's going on. I don't have a clue what this portal. I've no idea what that's about. I'm just going to jump in, play some Crucible, do all the strikes. There's probably thousands of strikes there that I've not even fucking played yet. So yeah, is Iron Banner still going to just keep rolling around? So yeah, it's a weird one for me. Yeah, I do love the old Destiny, and I love the community that we've built together. And I'm going to miss it, but I'd like to say, like, I'm not going anywhere, but I've not been anywhere for ages, have I, to be fair? Like, you've not heard from me for quite a long time, but, your Uncle Scumdaft is always here. Always here. So, yeah, I think soon I will reinstall Destiny 2.
Here's part 3.
Yeah, like I said, Gator, a minute and a half. Come on, my son. Nah, like I said, yeah, I'm going to jump back in the next couple of days and see what's going on. See if any of you are out there in the tower. And yeah, let's play some games, yeah? Let's play some games. God, I don't even know if my PlayStation works anymore. It's been so long. Ooh. Don't know. Maybe better boot it up. Dust him off, boot it up, reinstall Destiny. Let's have a little go, eh? Anyway, I miss you all. I know I've not been here for a long time, but I'm always here. This is your Uncle Scumdeath. I love you all. Gator, make it 3 minutes again. Cheers, man. You. Uncle Scumdeath. You.
Thank you, Lee. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, just so you know, catching up, Lee has been touring with his rock band, metal band. Sorry, didn't mean to say rock. And he's also, he's been dealing with some IRL stuff. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see him in game soon. Thanks, Lee, for sending those, man. Appreciate you. Hey, by the way, if you want to send us a voicemail, don't be afraid. All you need your phone and talking to your phone like you do everything else, and just hit record. Leave us a gamer tag so we know who's sending it to us, and it'll go right to my email, and we might hear it on the show. So it's guardiandowncast.com, by the way, if you want to send us a voicemail. Hey, Guardian, our show runs on Duncan. I mean, it's supported by our community. And by that, I mean our Patreon community. We're nearly 100 strong now. And if you want to join an awesome group of people and get the benefits like a private channel with myself and Kingsley Mack and all of our other Patreon members out there, not to mention special badges in our Discord community, years of behind the scenes, special audio and video episodes just for our patrons, and it's really simple. Just go to guardiandowncast.com and hit that Patreon button to find out more. You can also join us for free, so what do you got to lose? If you've received any value from the show today, keep those corporate sponsors out of our podcast by simply joining our awesome community at patreon.com/support Guardian Downcast. Later, Guardians. Hey, everybody. Future Gator here. Short and sweet tonight. I know we're all looking forward to what's coming out with the new Monument of Triumph. Going to be a lot of stuff in the game, a lot of things that I think will last quite a while. Be that third space we can come back and visit and get some new weapons and gear and all kinds of new changes to our abilities. The sandbox is shaking up. I mean, they're really throwing everything at this. Even a Gambit Ops. I never thought I'd see that. And, of course, the SRL, Sparrow Racing League. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. If you haven't already, there is a trailer that they just released today showing a lot of the activities in action. But, yeah, pretty short and sweet tonight. I know I'm going to be there Tuesday, June 9th, right at reset to log in. Let's make sure we all log in together and show our solidarity with Destiny 2. And if anything, send a message to all of those mid to lower level devs in the Bungie studios right now that love building this game. And I'm sure it's a nervous time for them right now. So I'm always thinking of them and this beautiful game that they built. And who knows? Sony may finally see the light and finally greenlight the next chapter of Destiny. They'd be stupid not to. Anyway. Thanks, everyone, especially our Patreon community. I think we're at 87 strong now. That's including free and paid members, by the way. Those aren't all paid members, but it's easy. You can become a free member just to check out what we have, see all the bonus content we have, special roles in our Discord, private channels, and all that good stuff. So if you're interested, you want to kick the tires and see what it's all about, it's patreon.com/support Guardian Downcast. Shout out to our largest contributors. That would be Deadpool 1 Merc, Amazing Taco King, Frostbite, and Jealous Gaming, our raid boss patrons. So for whatever game you're into these days, be sure to take breaks, hydrate, and touch grass. Bionic Koala. Gatorade and community member for over 3 years now. Thank you, sir.
The path to victory is long, but there's always hope. Fight!
Thank you all so very much for listening, and whether in life or in your game, hey, get your reps in. And later, Guardian.
overtime. Let's do this.
That's it, guys. That's all I have on the show tonight. Thank you, everybody who joined us live tonight. It's been a real hoot. It's been a real blast. It's good seeing community come together. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Mr. Nips, for stopping in and hanging out with us tonight. I try not to go too long tonight, as I know, Nips, you just came back from a treatment. But we'll start with you, Nips, this time. Give us a shout out. Let everybody know where your podcast is, your community, and if you want to give a shout out to anybody, please do so.
Yeah, sure. Like we said at the beginning, I'm part of one half of Potato Thumbs podcast. We had until, January released an episode every week for the better part of 8 years, maybe even 9. I don't know. Math isn't my strong suit. Obviously, we're not quite as regular on our releases for the last 6 months, but now that things are getting a little bit more predictable, we'll be back doing it some more. Fluffy Fingers and I really enjoy it. It's always a good time to just sit there and shoot the shit. It is not focused at all. We just wander all over the place. So if you need to kill some time and want to see what kind of ridiculous things we talk about, hop on in. We got our own Discord, and always welcome to come join there. And if you want to play some Magic, get over into the DPS one, and we're playing all the time.
Yeah, you're comfortable. It's just very comfortable listening to your show, man. Just you and Fluffy and whoever you have on in your community, man. It's just always a good hang. Definitely makes the time go by a little bit while I'm working out in the heat. So appreciate you, brother. Panda, what's going on, man? Want to give a shout out to anybody? And let us know where we can find you, man.
Yeah. So if Rob and Fluffy are a good relaxing time for you, then I guess our crew's a little bit like herding cats.
It's good. It's good. Listen.
I'm one small returning piece of the DPS Dudes Playing Stuff podcast show.
Good to hear it, man.
I currently have a bet to get Rich back to rating one time with me. We have a standing bet that I have to do 26 out of 52 episodes. So he can kiss my butt because I'll get them all just to make him mad. Anyhow, like Rob said, we're playing cards a lot. We're doing a lot of different things. And we're pushing into more tabletop stuff. There's a Dungeons and Dragons extension podcast along with what we do. So yeah, there's just a lot going on. And I guess my shout out is to all of my friends who welcome me back with open arms like I never left.
Heck yeah, man.
Appreciate you all.
And I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's Kingsley Mack. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
No, just kidding.
Okay.
I always love everyone coming on guest side, and shout out to Panda and Nips and hearing the opinions. And of course, it's been fun playing with you, Panda. And I always love hearing what Admiral Nips has to say about opinions in gaming. They seem to be pretty spot on. But other than that, thanks everyone, and glad to be here once again.
Yeah, remember everybody, June 9th, this Tuesday, show up, log in and play, I don't know, 5 minutes of Destiny, but show your solidarity and join everybody on June 9th. We want to push those numbers up and kind of thumb our fingers and nose at Sony. You know what I mean? So everybody show up, show your support. Well, I do. Show your support. And
again, I want to thumb my nose.
I'm going to be playing anyway, but yeah, make sure you join and hang out with all of us. And if you see us in the voice chat, join us up. Join up and say hello.
Yeah, everyone join up for sure.
Just join up and say hello. All right, that's it. Thank you, chat, for hanging out with us tonight. That is my shout out. Thank you for your input. I appreciate you. And remember, whether in life or in your games, get your reps in. Later, Guardians.
Work's been crazy, so it's just been a lot of stress the last month.
Sure.
The best part about it is I found that I really am lucky to have so many good friends in the community. Like,
people that I don't even talk to that much, but like we've played games together for periods of time. Well, they'll hit me up and they've been looking out for me. And obviously the people who are there playing games with me all the time have been there. And it's been really great how everybody's been as kind as they have. So